Pokémon, Cynthia's fiancé at the beginning. Author, Legend Love Powder. Synopsis. Mewlin traveled to the Pokémon world. After years of dormancy in Celestic Laboratory, he finally became a prestigious professor in history. By the way, the awakening system. At the same time, he got engaged to his childhood sweetheart Cynthia. From then on, embark on the pinnacle of life. Cynthia, I really want to give me Garchomp Mega Evolution, but unfortunately there is no Mega Stone. Mewlin, here, I found it for your husband. Cynthia, the gold poaching group is so annoying, always poaching Pokémon. Mewlin, for your husband to help you kill them. Wallace, Cynthia, the Hoenn region is going through a catastrophe. Can you ask your husband to save it? Kaluni, good sister, can you lend me your husband? Gwish, who can tell me why a history professor can summon Rayquaza? Giovanni, Mewlin, Destiny's Child. One time travel and become Cynthia's fiancé! Sinnoh region, Celestic Town. Inside the historic laboratory, Mewlin looked at the files on the desktop. The strangely shaped text on the document did not affect his reading. At this moment, a mechanical female voice sounded in Mewlin's mind. Congratulations to the host, mastering all ancient characters? Skill system, loading? It will take a week for the system to be loaded? The host, please wait patiently? I go. The system is finally loaded. Hearing the system's long-lost notification sound, Mewlin was ecstatic. Accidentally knocked over the water glass on the table. With a bang, the water glass fell. The sound of the water glass breaking attracted people around. The researchers in the laboratory all looked at him in unison. Mewlin, what's wrong with you? Are you feeling unwell? A brown-haired old woman patted Mewlin's shoulder and asked with concern. Talking old woman is the prestigious Pokémon professor of Sinnoh region. Champion Cynthia's grandmother, Gale Professor. I told you to rest more, but you didn't listen. Still staying up all night to decipher the text. It's not worth the loss if you break your body. In the tone of the mustard professor, there is both blame and distress. 18 years ago, Zillion adopted Mewlin, who came from across time. Over the years, he has been patiently cultivating him. Grandma, I'm fine, Mewlin responded. Because the system was awakened, he was a little excited, and his face was a little rosy. Mustard Land Professor put the documents on Mewlin's desk. Moved aside, said kindly, you have worked hard these days. With your help, about the history of the Celestic Sea God of the Hoenn region. There has been a lot of progress. Now the research work is in the final stage. Just leave it to us to clean up. Go back and rest for a while. Mustard is very good to Mewlin, even better than to his own granddaughter Cynthia. Okay, Grandma, Mewlin replied softly. Some look forward to what the system will bring him. Mustard the professor put the materials he had packed up just now, handed over to another researcher, and said to Mewlin with a smile, right, count the time. That little girl Cynthia should have come back from Lily of the Valley too. It's just this time, you two get together more. Just as I was talking, outside the door of the laboratory, there was a low growl. It should be the little girl who is back. Professor Mustardland pulled Mewlin and walked to the door of the laboratory. Not long after, Mewlin and Giselin walked outside the door. A Pokémon that looks like a shark and has a dark blue background is falling from the sky. It is the quasi-god Pokémon of the Sinnoh region, Garchomp. At the same time, Cynthia, who has a beautiful face, yellow hair, and looks like a lady, jumped from Garchomp's lightness. Grandmother. Cynthia's eyes lit up when she saw the two people waiting for her at the door of the laboratory. Little girl, you are back. The brown-haired Gale Professor greeted with a smile. Cynthia recovers Garchomp with a baby ball. Say hello to Professor Mustardland. Then he naturally took Mewlin's arm. He whispered softly in his ear. Mewlin Tilda. Mustardland Professor smiled and said, all right, you two haven't seen each other for so long. There must be a lot to talk about. I'll go back to the laboratory first. After finishing speaking, he turned and walked back to the laboratory. As soon as Giselin Professor left, Cynthia held Mewlin's arm tightly. The body leaned forward gently. In Mewlin's ear, with a captivate, feminine voice, whispered, I haven't seen me for almost a month. Miss me? Mewlin turned his head slightly, and shifted his gaze to Cynthia's beautiful face. Feeling the fragrance on the other party's body, he said cheerfully and affirmatively, I want to. Mewlin and Cynthia have lived together since childhood. The two are childhood sweethearts, and they hit it off. The relationship was confirmed early. Not long ago, the two went one step further. Witnessed by Mustardland, they got engaged. The relationship between the two at this time is an unmarried couple. To outsiders, Cynthia is the glamorous champion of Sinnoh. But in front of her fiancé whom she hadn't seen for a long time, there is no difference from other little girls. This is more or less. Hearing such affirmative words from my lover, Cynthia stood on tiptoe. Delicate and seductive million lips lightly imprinted on Mewlin's cheeks. Although unmarried, they are already husband and wife, because he was adopted by Giselin Professor since he was a child. So, naturally, Mewlin lives with Mustard Professor and Cynthia. In the living room, Cynthia lazily looked in the mirror, took off her coat, and changed into home clothes. Even loose home clothes can't conceal her turbulent and peerless figure. He casually tied up his long yellow hair, which was as beautiful as a waterfall. Then he came to Mulin's side and sat on the sofa with him. It's been a busy time. Sometimes I get so busy that I don't even have time to eat ice cream. Cynthia held back her icy and glamorous look, and leaned delicately beside Mulin, holding the lovely girl in his arms in enjoyment. Mulin chatted warmly. What have you been up to this month? Lying in Mulin's arms, Cynthia smelled the familiar smell and felt the fiery chest. Curled up like a kitten. Deal with Legacy Alliance issues. Catch the gold poaching group that has emerged during this period. Occasionally, I have to take care of Katlia's younger sister. Attend the contest as a guest. I still have to find time to prepare for the championship ranking competition for a while. Cynthia counted one by one with her fingers. She's the new champion, busy adjusting to being a champion and dealing with all sorts of things. Thanks for your hard work. After a while, when you get used to it, you'll be on the right track. Mulin sniffed the sweet body fragrance in her arms, stroked her silky yellow hair, and said softly. Also, Cynthia's small head rubbed against Mulin's arms, found a comfortable position to lean against, and said, but even if we're done with the alliance now, we still have to take Pokemon for some special training. There is still half a year left, and the championship ranking match will begin. I received news that Yolanda has harvested a Megastone from Gyarados. Preparing for the championship ranking match half a year later. It is estimated that this time, he is going to flex his muscles. And Wallace of Hoenn, who is said to be heir of the people of Sotopolis, got a Swampet's Megastone. He's also a tough rival in ranked matches. Although my main force, Garchomp, can also Mega Evolution, Garchomp's Megastone is too precious. Even though Grandma helped me mobilize contacts to find it, there is no whereabouts now. If I have Garchomp's Megastone, I can guarantee that I will be in the middle of the rankings. The Championship Points Tournament, arguably the entire Pokemon world, is a grand event that attracts worldwide attention. Winning a good ranking, in addition to bringing a strong sense of honor to the people of the region, you can also get more resources at the headquarters of the Alliance. Every region champion attaches great importance to his own ranking. It's okay, don't worry. Looking back, I will check the literature, and there may be clues to the Garchomp Megastone. Mulin caressed Cynthia's pretty face and said softly, Mulin, you have done well to me. Cynthia pecked Mulin's face again. Show off the prettiness of the little bird. After chatting for a while, Cynthia, who came back from the long journey to Lily of the Valley, felt a little sleepy. He simply used Mulin's thigh as a pillow. With slender hands, she hugged her lover. The eyes are slightly closed. The long eyelashes are trembling, and they are as beautiful as a fairy in the sky. Cynthia, with fair skin and naturally blonde hair, has a strong exotic style. Mulin couldn't help stroking the kitten in his arms with his hands. Cynthia, enjoying with her eyes closed, moved her head. As soon as he moved, his head hit something. Respond instantly. The long and curved eyelashes fluttered slightly, and she opened her beautiful eyes. Her pretty face was a little rosy, and she looked at Mulin meaningfully. Cynthia, huh? Mulin was a little embarrassed. Well, Cynthia spoke boldly. Now? Mulin swallowed her saliva. Okay. Cynthia, with a pretty face and reddish face, got up from Mulin, stretched out her green fingers, and nodded his head. Then he left the living room without saying a word, and walked to the room. When he walked to the door of the room, he looked back and smiled. Although he didn't say a single word, Mulin fully accepted Cynthia's meaning. After a while, he stood up from the sofa. With an excited face, he entered the fighting mode. Cynthia smiled cleverly, and walked into the room first. The door was left ajar. Cool. Mulin took a deep breath, adjusted his breathing, and quickly lifted his heels into it. Cynthia is Mulin's fiancé. Mulin is Cynthia's fiancé. Although unmarried, they have long been like husband and wife. 3 Cynthia, just miss me 86,400 times a day. Time flies by in a flash. It's been a week. In the early morning, the sun shines into the room, reflecting on Cynthia's beautiful face. The trembling eyelashes seem to be shining. Get up, the sun is drying your ass. Mulin stroked Krenna's hair and said softly, but I'm still sleepy. Curled into a kitten like Cynthia, holding on to his will, he struggled to get up. Wrapped in a quilt, sits Cynthia wearing fringe. Looking at Mulin who was arranging clothes, Grudge looked happy. It's all your fault. Now I can't lift my spirits up. Mulin turned his head and just saw Cynthia's white and tender little Xiao by the bed, flickering. Cynthia is perfect. Whether it is body shape or appearance, there is no one in a million. Even the little Xiao is so perfect. Seeing Mulin's expression, Cynthia lifted her foot proudly. Under the sunlight, it seems to be covered with a layer of holy white light. Do you like it? Mulin swallowed, and said honestly: I like it. Mulin is not a foot controller, but with such perfect feet, it is still hard to resist. There seemed to be a fire burning in his chest. He looked at the clock hanging in the room. 9:30, he murmured. It's still early. After speaking, he was ready to take off the coat he had just put on. Seeing the actions of my fiancé, Cynthia knows what Mulin wants to do without even thinking about it. He quickly retracted the smug expression just now, although she enjoyed the gaze of her fiancé. But after tossing last night, Her body hasn't recovered yet. And there is something else to do today. Put the little Xiao back under the quilt, and begged Mulin for mercy. Mulin ... I still have something to do today. Turn back. Come back again. After finishing speaking, he was still wrapped in a quilt with a pitiful look. Cool. Mulin exhaled heavily, suppressing the flame in his heart. Sitting on the edge of the bed, he reached out and grabbed Cynthia's flawless little Xiao. Put it in the palm of your hand and knead it for a while. Until Cynthia begged for mercy. Only then did he put on a vicious look and said, I'll let you off for the time being today. Next time if you do this again, I will definitely take care of you. Got it? Cynthia nodded obediently. Okay, get up now. Grandma has already made breakfast. Mulin packed her clothes and walked out of the room. Dining table outside the living room. Milk imported from high-quality milk tank ranch in the Kanto region. Assorted fruit salads. There are also delicate and delicious meat buns. Neatly arranged. The mustard professor is not here, and he probably has gone to the laboratory. Mulin just sat down, took a glass of milk, and ate 2 mouthfuls of buns. Cynthia, who was fully dressed, walked out of the room. He casually picked up the milk that Mulin had drunk, and took a big gulp. Carelessly, he took a bun from Mulin's bowl and chewed it in his mouth. After swallowing the steamed stuffed bun, Cynthia said vaguely, by the way, Mulin, I plan to stay on Lily of the Valley for the time being. One is to deal with work. The second is to prepare for the next championship qualifying match. Strive for a good ranking. In the past few days when I came back to Celestic Town, I have been getting tired of being with Mulin. Cynthia is afraid that if this continues, she will completely fall into Mulin's gentle valley. I'm leaving as soon as I get back. I really miss you and Grandma. Cynthia hugged Mulin's arm and looked at him reluctantly. Fine. You're not here. I just went out for a trip. By the way, help you find clues to the Garchomp Megastone. Mulin stroked Cynthia's yellow hair softly, and spoke softly. For Cynthia's departure, although I feel sad, I can understand it. Cynthia is a Sinnoh champion and has her work to do. Moreover, Mulin himself also wants to travel to the outside world. When I'm not around, don't miss me too much. Just miss me 86,400 times a day. Cynthia hugged Mulin's arm and said charmingly, okay, I miss you once a second. Mulin hugged Kira lovingly. Kiss one. Cynthia narrowed her eyes and offered her own sweet lips. Anthracene well tilde. Mulin complied with the other party's request forcefully, until Cynthia blushed. She was a little out of breath, so she let her go. Hate. Cynthia rubbed her hot cheeks, and punched Mulin's chest with her pink fist. With difficulty, he broke free from Mulin's embrace. Then Mulin, I'm leaving. Mulin smiled and sent the other party out the door. Well, let's go. Cynthia took out the baby ball. Garchomp, come out. Garchomp lowered himself consciously. Cynthia skillfully rode on Garchomp's body and waved to Mulin vigorously. Then the jet Garchomp took off, disappeared into the sky. After leaving Mulin, Cynthia curled up her sweet smile and changed into her usual cold and glamorous Yuji. It is only in front of her fiancé that Cynthia will act like a little Stephanie. 4 System activation. Rayquaza concern. Saying goodbye to Cynthia, Mulin came to Celestic Laboratory. As soon as the mustard professor saw Mulin, he waved to him kindly. Where's the little girl? She said she would stay on Lily of the Valley during this time. Take care of the work and do some special training by the way. Mulin said Cynthia's words to Professor Gale. Well, let the little girl go. Kazalin Professor didn't care about Cynthia's departure. Instead, he pulled Mulin into the office excitedly. Mulin, with your help, we have successfully deciphered the ancient documents of the Hoenn region sent by Steven. I got an important message. In the hottest volcano in the Hoenn region, there lives a god who controls the earth. This god of the earth, do you know his name? Kazalin Professor looks mysterious. The name of the god of the earth? Isn't it Groudon? Is it difficult? However, in order to cooperate with Mustard Professor, Mulin shook his head and pretended to want to know. Kazalin Professor excitedly said, the name of the god of the earth. It's called Groudon. While showing a shocked look, Mulin added in his heart, Groudon also has a name. It's called Can't Fly. Unaware of Mulin's ridicule, Kazalin continued to say excitedly, it is said that once Groudon, the god of the earth, appears, the sun is getting hotter. The earth will burn. The area of the earth will be expanded as Groudon walks. On the basis of deciphering the ancient text, it is only a matter of time to discover the historical secrets of the Hoenn region. We can make such fast progress, thanks to you. Kazalin Professor's eyes are full of admiration. Professionally, Mulin is her proudest student. I knows that he is better than blue in life. Mulin is fun and confident. Therefore, the Mustard Professor has always treated Mulin as his own grandson. I am also happy to see Mulin and Cynthia fall in love. Mulin said to the Mustard Professor, by the way, Grandma, if there is nothing to do during this time, I'm going to go on a trip. Previously, Mulin studied ancient writing just to complete the awakening task of the system. But now, the ancient characters have been completely mastered by him. The system has also awakened. It is also time to travel the world. Mustard Land Professor thought about it, and said, it's fine. Having deciphered the ancient Hoenn script, The next research work is a matter of course. Mustard Land Professor is not surprised that Mulin will travel abroad. People all over the world love to travel. Look out into the world and see Pokemon like no other. After chatting with Professor Gale, Mulin left the laboratory. Get ready to go home, pack up your things, and go on a tour. Just a few steps out of the laboratory, Mulin's brain heard a beep. God-level trainer system is loaded? The novice gift pack has been distributed. Do you want the host to open it? Open. Mulin didn't hesitate at all. Congratulations to the host, you have obtained the Eye of Detection? Remark 1. The function of the probing eye can detect the full attribute of Pokemon? Remark 2. In addition to detecting Pokemon, the probing eye can also detect human emotions about themselves? Congratulations to the host, you got Rare Candy 20. Note: using Rare Candy can increase the level of Pokemon by 1 level. Valid for champions and below? Congratulations to the host, you got Steel Gem 1. Remarks: using it with the corresponding attribute Pokemon can increase the potential of Steel-type Pokemon? Mulin looked at these things placed on the system warehouse, and couldn't help sighing in his heart. The system is really generous. Just when Mulin was feeling the generosity of the system, ozone layer in the remote Hoenn region, a dragon with a length of 100 meters and green brilliance around it, suddenly opened his eyes. This Pokemon is called Hoenn Supreme Myth Totem, who wields the power of soaring in the sky. Lord of Soaring in the Sky Rayquaza. Just a swing of Solation's 100-meter divine body caused boundless turbulent currents to surge. The huge dragon eyes crossed the boundless ozone layer. He looked over to Mulin, who was in the Sinnoh region. You finally woke up, my inheritor. 5. Lucario crossed the sky and reached the 3rd level of God. Home in Celestic Town. Mulin was not in a hurry to go out. I plan to use the props I just got to strengthen my Pokemon. Although the external identity is a professor who studies history, but Mulin also has his own Earl Dervish Pokemon. He casually took out the baby ball from his waist and pressed the switch. After a burst of red light, one is 1.5 meters tall, and its body surface is blue and black. The muscles of the whole body are refined, like a humanoid Pokemon poured by Waveguide, appearing in front of his eyes. This Pokemon is Lucario, who is called Dog. Pokemon, Lucario. Gender, male. Attribute, Steel. Fighting, ability, Heart of Justice. When receiving a Dark-type move, increase its own attack, and when the Pokemon with this ability receives Dark-type consecutive moves, each attack can trigger this ability. Level, 40. Elementary Gymnasium. Potential, Champion. Skills, Aura Sphere, Detect, Feint, Rock Smash, Metal Claw, Quick Attack, Power-Up Punch, Bone Rush, Meteor Mash, Sword Dance. Genetic Skills, Cross Chop, High Jump Kick, Vacuum Wave, Bullet Punch. Contest Condition, Good. Remarks: this Pokemon has outstanding aptitude, talent for muscle toughness, and explosive power far exceeding that of its peers. It has a strong comprehension of quick attack skills. Needless to say, this Lucario is really good, although it only has gym-level combat power now. But the potential has reached the championship level. Whether you practice hard or not determines the lower limit of Pokemon strength. The level of potential determines the upper limit of Pokemon. But Lucario's potential is high, which is normal. After all, he is a mustard professor, but he raised Mulin as his own grandson. How could the Earl Dervish Pokemon, which was specially selected for Mulin, have low potential? As soon as Lucario appeared, he showed closeness to Mulin. Lucario as Mulin's Earl Dervish Pokemon. The two have a close relationship. Xiao, I plan to take you on a trip outside during this time. Mulin smiled and stroked Lucario's dog's head. Xiao is the nickname given to Lucario by Mulin. There was a gleam in Lucario's eyes. Usually, most of him are with Mulin. Stay in Celestial Town. Celestic Town has a pleasant climate, and Mulin treats him very well. It's just that Pokemon have a heart that wants to become stronger. Want to fight different rivals to exercise yourself. Lucario, a Pokemon, is very special. They all have a force called Waveguide in their bodies. In addition to being used to attack or defend in battle, it can also connect itself and train while fighting. Allow both parties in the connection to feel their emotions. Feeling that Lucario wanted to go out for training just like himself, Mulin smiled and said, Xiao, don't worry. Before I go out to practice, I have something that can help you strengthen. After speaking, Mulin took out the steel gem. Handed over. Lucario looked at the stone in Mulin's palm in surprise, emitting a faint white halo. From the stone, he felt an energy that fit him perfectly. Lucario pointed to himself in surprise. Is it for me? Through the connection of Waveguide power, Mulin understands Lucario's thoughts. Of course. Mulin nodded with a smile, and placed the steel gem in Lucario's open palm. Absorb the power of the gem. Lucario nodded earnestly. Slowly expand the power of the Waveguide in the body to cover the steel gem. Slowly, bursts of stars shone out from among the gemstones. The white stars are dotted, constantly gathering, slowly merged into Lucario's body, improving Lucario's physique. When all the stars disappear little by little, although Lucario has not changed in appearance, the data has changed under the detection of the probing eye. Pokemon, Lucario, gender, male. Attribute, steel, fighting, ability, Heart of Justice. When receiving a Dark-type move, increase its own attack, and when the Pokemon with this ability receives Dark-type consecutive moves, each attack can trigger this ability. Level 40, Elementary Gymnasium. Potential, lower level 3 God. Skills, Aura Sphere, Detect, Feint, Rock Smash, Metal Claw, Quick Attack, Power-Up Punch, Bone Rush, Meteor Mash, Sword Dance. Genetic Skills, Cross Chop, High Jump Kick, Vacuum Wave, Bullet Punch. Contest Condition, Perfect. Remarks, this Pokemon has outstanding aptitude, talent for muscle toughness, and explosive power far exceeding that of its peers. It has a strong comprehension of quick attack skills. The potential is directly promoted from the champion to the 3rd level God. Mulin looked excited. The strength of Pokemon can be divided into several levels. They are Novice, Normal, Elite, Gym, Elite, Champion, Level 3 God, Level 2 God, and Level 1 God. Most Pokemon, no matter how hard they try, throughout his life, he can only reach the championship level at most. If you want to continue to go up, you need a tenacious will and extraordinary talent. Coupled with a heaven-defying opportunity, it is possible to break through the shackles of race. It is as difficult as climbing to the sky to break through the shackles of oneself. But now, under Mulin's help, Lucario easily crossed the chasm of normal. The potential has reached an astonishing 3rd level God. 6 Lucario Advanced Champion Primary, set off to travel. Seeing Lucario with improved potential, Mulin took out a rare candy and handed it over. Xiao, this candy can improve your strength. Now that the potential has increased, it's time to take the rare candy to level up Lucario. There are 3 ways to increase the level of Pokemon. Actual combat, get the right amount of experience. Train and get a small amount of experience. The last way is to take Tankei de Bao. Although the quality of rare candy produced by the system is guaranteed. However, in order to make sure there were no side effects, Mulin cautiously gave Lucario 1 pill. Test the water first. Lucario readily accepts rare candy. Peel off the candy wrapper and chew it in your mouth. In an instant, a strong energy melted from the candy, from the throat, all over the body, constantly strengthening the power of the Waveguide in Lucario's body. The level has also been increased from the original level 40 to level 41. Xiao, how do you feel? Mulin asked Lucario after taking a rare candy. Lucario waved his arms excitedly, feeling the huge energy in his body. It feels very good. The total power of Waveguide in the body has increased. There are also body cells, which also feel more and more tough. Mulin observed Lucario's changes, and his overall momentum increased by 1 point. Also became very energetic. It seems rare candy, without any side effects. Immediately afterwards, put the remaining rare candy, all in the hands of Lucario. Xiao, absorb these 2. Take Lucario 1 by 1. As Lucario continued to absorb the energy brought by rare candy, the momentum is constantly improving. The body changes and changes constantly. The originally lean muscles became knotted and powerful. The steel skin on the surface glowed with a faint white halo. It seems that the surface of the skin is covered with a layer of gaseous armor. Lucario's eyes also became sharp and sharp. When all rare candies are consumed, Lucario's data has changed dramatically. Pokemon, Lucario, gender, male. Attribute, steel, fighting, ability, Heart of Justice. When receiving a Dark-type move, increase its own attack, and when the Pokemon with this ability receives Dark-type consecutive moves, each attack can trigger this ability. Level 60, Elementary Champion. Potential, lower level 3 God. Skills, Aura Sphere, Detect, Feint, Rock Smash, Metal Claw, Quick Attack, Power-Up Punch, Bone Rush, Meteor Mash, Sword Dance, Extreme Speed, Close Combat. Genetic Skills, Cross Chop, High Jump Kick, Vacuum Wave, Bullet Punch. Contest Condition, Perfect. Remarks, this Pokemon has outstanding aptitude, talent for muscle toughness, and explosive power far exceeding that of its peers. It has a strong comprehension of quick attack skills. The level has increased by 20 levels, from the elementary level of the gymnasium to the elementary level of the champion. Along with the level change, Lucario's also mastered 2 other skills. They are the normal type extreme speed, and the fighting type powerful skill close combat. Because of the improvement of the level, a huge change has been brought about. Lucario roared excitedly. Wanton display, belongs to the momentum of the champion. If the previous Lucario is like a sharp knife, Lucario, now promoted, is like a peerless sharp blade. Full of sharp, powerful breath. Lucario shook his fist violently. Immediately there was a howl. The impact of the fist swing caused a wave of anger. Xiao, Follow me. Mulin waved to Lucario. Take the excited Lucario to the open space outside the house. Mulin pointed to a stone about 1 meter away, and said, Xiao, use extreme speed. Luca. The power of Waveguide bloomed from Lucario's body. The fierce bulldoze ground left a deep footprint on the ground. Quickly rushed out like the wind. Arrive in a flash. Boom! Exclamation mark. The 1 meter wide stone was directly blasted into tiny pieces. Luca tilde. After the bombardment was over, Lucario looked at the fist in his hand. The power of explosion all over his body made him excited. Xiao, you did a good job. Mulin encouraged Lucario in time. Luca tilde. Lucario returned to Mulin with excitement on his face, and growled affectionately. You know, even if you are talented. However, there is still a long way to go from the beginning of the gymnasium to the champion. At least it will take 2 years. With the help of Mulin, Lucario can directly jump from the primary level of the gymnasium to the primary level of the champion in just a few minutes. Be polite between you and me. You are my old dervish Pokemon. Mulin smiled and touched the dog's head. Then he said, Xiao, although his strength has been greatly improved, but I want to keep getting stronger. You have to temper your own consciousness a lot, and you can't relax for a moment. Understand? Compared with strength, Mulin values combat awareness more, and unyielding in the battle. Luca tilde. Lucario nodded seriously, expressing that he would not relax. Okay, let's pack up our things and prepare to travel. Luca, one person, one Pokemon, and started to pack up the equipment for traveling. 7 Special Encounters with Silly Things. Sinnoh Region. Psychedelic Forest. The first stop of Mulin's tour was Canalave City, southwest of Celestic Town. Canalave City is a famous tourist attraction in Sinnoh Region. Canalave City is made up of many islands. The city is divided into 2 by a waterway. It is said that the buildings there have a strong exotic atmosphere. In addition, Canalave City has the largest library in the entire Sinnoh Region. Perhaps there will be information about the Garchomp Megastone. To reach Canalave City, you must first pass through the psychedelic forest. At this time, Mulin was walking in the forest with Lucario. I have to subdue a Pokemon that can only take me flying. In this way, it will be more convenient to go anywhere. While walking, Mulin thought about the configuration of the team in his mind. Flying is possible, except that there is help on the way. In terms of field of view, it also has a greater effect. In addition to flying Pokemon, if you have the opportunity, you must also subdue a Pokemon that can use teleport. Whatever happens, teleport can take me out of danger in a short time. Gardevoir of the Psychic Department, or Alakazam is a good choice. Then the team also needs to absorb tanks that can resist damage. Bangaras, a combination of rock and evil, and Agron, a combination of rock and steel, are also pretty good. Luca tilde. Just as Mulin was thinking, Lucario, who was beside him, suddenly made a sound. There is a hint of caution in growl. Okay? Mulin looked up and looked at Lucario. Lucario was looking in one direction, found nothing. Xiao, what did you sense? Mulin stopped and asked. Mulin trusts Lucario, who has the power of Waveguide in his body. Luca tilde. I vaguely heard a faint voice coming from that direction. Lucario promptly fed back the received information to Mulin. I see. Mulin's expression was a little curious. The wild is no place for peace. Pokemon has a gentle personality. There are also violent ones. On TV, you can often see some traveling trainers accidentally, an example of being eaten by a wild Pokemon. For example, some time ago, Mulin saw a news on TV. An unlucky trainer met Bbook, a male and a female, who was in a stress during his travels. The curious trainer took another look. It was eaten alive by an angry Bbook. There are also some Pokemon that are extremely territorial. If you stray into their territory, you will be hunted down by them. But Mulin was very quiet along the way because of the aura of the champion Lucario. The weak wild Pokemon around him dare not approach. No matter what kind of creature it is the nature of seeking good luck and avoiding evil. Never running out of time, taunt champion Lucario. Xiao, let's go over there and have a look. Mulin patted Lucario's shoulder, and took the lead to walk towards the sound coming from the voice. The purpose of traveling is to travel. Take a look at this strange world. And with the champion Lucario by his side, Mulin doesn't have to worry about his safety. Luca tilde. The loyal Lucario followed behind Mulin step by step. At the same time, the power of the Waveguide spread out, carefully observing the surrounding environment. Beware of the dangers you may encounter. A clearing in the forest. 5 fat stantlers are gathered together. The black meat ball on the antlers is overflowing with a surge of energy. Surrounded by stantler was a boy wearing a hat. Beside this hooded boy is a Turtwig from the Sinnoh region. The boy in the hood and Turtwig, lying on the ground with their eyes closed. He kept paddling his limbs and assumed a swimming posture. Land swimming. Stantler surrounded the hooded boy, seeing how funny the boy was. The eyes are full of jokes. At the same time, Mulin is also approaching with Lucario, headed by a stantler. It seems to feel something. I looked back. Black balls on antlers no longer spill energy. There is no joke in the eyes anymore. Instead, panic. He took the lead in spreading his hooves and galloped desperately. The other 4 stantlers also sensed it. Immediately do birds and beasts. The hooded boy and Turtwig are still swimming, lying on the ground with their eyes closed, still humming and laughing. Mulin doesn't mind Stantler's departure. Stantler is a gentle, grass-eating Pokemon. Nothing bad, just love to tease people. When Mulin walked in, he saw clearly the boy in the hat who was swimming, lying on the ground. Although the hooded boy was facing the ground, he couldn't see his appearance clearly, but through the other party's clothing. Mulin judged the other party's identity. There was a surprised expression in his eyes. Blunted, stupid. Stupid thing? Mulin never expected his first encounter with Ash. Actually, so special. 8 Mulin, when did I become Sinnoh's public enemy? Before the trip, Mulin checked the information. This world is an integrated Pokemon world. It is a combination of manga, animation and theatrical version. Certainly, compared with the red and green who have already emerged and are well known by various forces, Ash's popularity is relatively low now. Looking at the weird look of the silly thing lying on the ground with its eyes closed and swimming, the arms that kept swinging were almost bald. Mulin said to Lucario beside him, "Xiao, wake him up." Lucatilda. The power of the Waveguide in Lucario's body swayed, instantly destroying the remaining energy of Stantler. Soon, Ash and his Turtwig stopped swinging. His eyes gradually became clearer. After smelling salts came over, Ash shook his head and looked at Mulin blankly. Didn't I swim in the sea just now?" Mulin pointed to the traces drawn by Ash on the ground, and said with a smile, "You were indeed swimming just now. It's just not swimming in the sea." After Mulin's reminder, Ash also recalled being surrounded by Stantler just now. Stantler was found to have receded. Knowing that it was Mulin who helped him get out of trouble. Just when I was about to say thank you, a man and a woman came running from afar, followed by a yellow mouse. It was Xiaogang and Dawn who formed a partner with Ash and traveled together. Ash, Pikachu. Dawn saw Ash's red skin, and asked with a puzzled look, "Ash, where did you go? And your hands, why are they so red?" Ash felt a little embarrassed when he thought about the embarrassment of swimming just now, but he said honestly, "Just now I was confused by a group of Stantlers. I've always wanted to leave here to find you, but I just can't get out." Later, I was even more confused by Stantler, thinking it was swimming in the sea. Fortunately, this passing big brother helped and drove Stantler away. After speaking, Ash bowed to Mulin. "Thank you for your help just now." Mulin didn't care about this, and said with a faint smile, "You're welcome." This forest is called Lost Lawn Forest because there are a lot of wild Stantlers living here. People passing by are often confused by Stantler. Mulin's explanation made Ash, Dawn, and Xiaogang understand. "I'm Ash from Pallet Town. The two of them are traveling partners with me. He is Xiaogang, and she is Dawn, and he is Pikachu." Ash introduced the people around him to Mulin respectively. "Hello." The narrow-eyed Xiaogang waved his hand. "Big brother, thanks to you." Dawn smiled sweetly. Pikachu, who was lying on Ash's shoulder, also waved his arms in a thankful growl. The corners of Mulin's mouth raised slightly, and he introduced himself. "My name is Mulin." Then he pointed to Lucario beside him. "He is called Xiao, and he is my partner. He was the one who drove those Stantlers away just now." Through the power of Waveguide, Lucario sensed the kindness of the people in front of him. He yelled as a greeting, "Lucario." After Mulin's introduction, Ash and Dawn's eyes focused on Lucario, who was handsome in appearance and exuded a good momentum. Although, except for Mulin, no one else has a systematic investigative eye. But it is still possible to judge the strength of Pokemon from various aspects such as its appearance, body shape, and aura. Of course, it's not as accurate as Mulin who has the probing eye. "Brother Mulin, your Lucario is so strong." Ash with the goal of becoming a Pokemon master. Feeling the aura of Lucario, he sincerely praised him. "Yes, and he's handsome. If you participate in the contest competition, you may stand there without moving. You can directly advance to the first round of review." Dawn also said aside. Both Ash and Dawn focused their eyes on Lucario, but Xiaogang is different from them. At this moment, he muttered to himself, constantly repeating Mulin's name. He took out a notepad and whispered Mulin's name while searching for something on it. "Mulin. This name is so familiar. I should have heard. Let me find it." Not long, Xiaogang seems to have found relevant information from his notebook. Surprised, he pointed at Mulin loudly and said, "I found it." "No wonder I said this name is so familiar. So you are the legendary public enemy of Sinnoh." The tone of Xiaogang's speech inexplicably carried a sense of common hatred. Ash and Dawn were taken aback by Xiaogang's sudden yelling. At the same time, they were all puzzled. Public enemy of Sinnoh? Could it be this handsome Mulin in front of him? Is it a bad guy? Should be won't be. Enemy of Sinnoh? Mulin scratched his ears with a puzzled look on his face. When did I become Sinnoh's public enemy? 9 Challenge from Ash. System quest activated. There is no cause and effect. Just hearing the words public enemy of Sinnoh, Ash looked at Xiaogang in disbelief, and said, "Xiaogang, did you make a mistake?" "Brother Mulin helped me out just now. How could it be the public enemy of Sinnoh?" Dawn also looked puzzled, looking at Mulin who was handsome and had a gentle smile on his face. It's hard to imagine that he is Sinnoh's public enemy in Xiaogang's mouth. He also interjected from the side, "Xiaogang, Did you admit the wrong person? There's nothing wrong, Xiao said firmly, although I haven't seen him in person. But the name Mulin has already spread in our circle. Facing Xiao resolute appearance, Ash and Dawn had no choice but to believe it. Can't help but take a step back. Xiao held up the notebook in his hand, and read out the contents in an emotional tone. Mulin, from Sinnoh region, Celestic Town, aged 20, handsome, currently working at Celestic Laboratory as a well-known historical research expert, good at deciphering ancient texts. Help each region decipher the documents left over from ancient times. Have a high status in the scientific community. Talents classified as key protection by the Pokemon Alliance. Enjoy special perks from Alliance. Even, there are rumors about his attainments in history, as profound as Professor Oak's research on Pokemon. Hearing this, Ash and Dawn looked at each other. Both of them had question marks on their faces. Black question mark. Jip. What the hell? Sounds like a nice guy. What does this have to do with public enemy of Sinnoh? Ash asked in confusion. Hey, Xiao ignored Ash's question, but sighed heavily. Lonely lowered his head. A dejected look. Seeing Xiaogang's expression, Ash and Dawn became even more puzzled. Could it be that such a good young man joined the Dark Organization? What bad thing did you do? After a while, Xiaogang raised his head. The small eyes were filled with a touch of sadness. There was even a gleam of crystal slipping from the corner of his eyes. With a dream-shattered tone, he slowly responded to Ash's question just now. Mulin is other than the identity I just mentioned. He has another identity. He is the Sinnoh region. Beautiful, just like the fiancé of Miss Cynthia, a fairy in the sky. This is where the name Sinnoh public enemy comes from. Mulin is the public enemy of the men of the entire Sinnoh region. Do not should be the public enemy of the entire Pokemon world. Mulin, Ash, Dawn. At this moment, the screen fell into a moment of silence. The first person to break the strange silence was Pikachu lying on Ash's shoulder. Not understanding the three of them, chatting suddenly became quiet. Pick up? Question mark. A native of Sinnoh, Dawn is no stranger to Cynthia. I often see her on TV. He looked up and down Mulin. Can't help sighing. Mulin big brother looks handsome. Another learned scholar. The trained Pokemon is still this strong. No wonder it captured the heart of Sister Cynthia. Hearing Dawn's words, even though Xiaogang felt sad, but also have to agree, facing such an excellent Mulin, he can only bow down. Closing the notebook in his hand, he looked at Mulin, who had a smile on his lips, giving off a very educated, gentle, but extremely handsome look. He sighed. If I were Miss Cynthia, I would choose Mulin. Ash, who is more nervous, has a different focus from Xiaogang and Dawn. So it's the champion's fiancé. No wonder you are so strong, brother Mulin. Having said this, Ash clenched his fists. The desire to fight is ignited in the eyes. Brother Mulin, I want to ask you something. Mulin shifted his gaze to Ash, who was burning with fighting spirit, and guessed his thoughts. His eyes swept over Pikachu lying on his shoulder, and he said with a smile on his face, What's the matter? Ash said seriously, Brother Mulin, please fight me. Pikachu tilde. Feeling trainer's fighting spirit, Pikachu on Ash's shoulder also clenched his fist. The moment Ash sent the challenge request, the system's iconic prompt sound appeared in Mulin's mind. Congratulations to the host. Activate the system random task. Question mark. Mission objective: accept Ash's challenge and defeat him. Question mark. Task reward: the power of Waveguide. Question mark. Failed punishment: none. Question mark. Waveguide power effect 1: it can detect the environment and things within a certain range. Question mark. Waveguide power effect 2: Pokemon can be connected to the mind and communicate with each other. Question mark. Waveguide power effect 3: it can control part of the airflow, make a barrier for defense or use it for attack. Question mark. Remarks: the effect of the power of the Waveguide will have different effects as the total amount of the power of the Waveguide increases. Question mark. May I ask the host whether to accept the system task? Question mark. Accept. Without the slightest hesitation, Mulin replied in consciousness. Then he looked at Ash, who was burning with fighting spirit, and said with a smile, I accept your challenge. 10 The power of Waveguide, easy to win. First update. The power of Waveguide, the power of Superpower, and the power of Viridian. These 3 abilities, and called the 3 great powers. Each ability is extremely powerful and rare. But even if there is no task issued by the system, Mulin will also accept Ash's challenge, because Mulin is looking forward to Ash's Pikachu. In the world of animation, this Pikachu has the aura of the protagonist. Just to see what it looks like in real life. Due to limited space. In addition, it is not a formal battle. There is no limit to the number of Pokemon you can use, and no limit to the battle arena. Mulin and Ash later on stood separately in an open space. Fighting Ash. The iconic hat on the head is worn backwards. Turtwig, I'm counting on you. As soon as Ash started, he sent Turtwig, who was swimming with him just now. Luca, and Mulin is Lucario. Brother Mulin, please give me some advice. Ash cupped his hands and immediately went on the offensive. Turtwig, use the razor leaf. Grass seedlings. Subtle green energy flashed from Turtwig's body, turning into green leaves one by one. Flight towards Lucario. Ash's Turtwig, only level 8, still in the novice stage. And the champion Lucario is completely crushing. Mulan doesn't even need to direct this level of abuse. Facing rival's attack, Lucario gave a soft snort. Luca tilde. The strong Waveguide power in the body bloomed slightly. Champion level prestige spread around. Under the pressure of powerful prestige, Turtwig retreated again and again. He was so suppressed that he couldn't move at all. The nature of creatures seeking good fortune and avoiding evil is revealed at this moment. The green leaves that have lost their energy traction are slowly withering one by one. The gap is too big. Watching Turtwig back, Ash knew the gap. Sighed. Turtwig, come back. Pikachu, who had been with him the longest, was then sent. Seeing that the Super Beast Pikachu was on stage, Mulan became a little excited. Turn on the system's probing eye function to check Pikachu's situation. Pokemon, Pikachu. Gender, male. Attribute, electricity. Ability, lightning rod. Pokemon with this ability are not affected by electric-type moves, and when hit by electric-type moves, it will provide its own special attack. Level, uncertain. Potential, erratic. Skills, quick attack, thunderbolt, iron tail. Discharge. Contest condition, good. Remark 1. The combat power of this Pokemon is erratic, and when the owner is in danger, it occasionally uses power that exceeds its own level. Remark 2. This Pokemon has its own talent of cleaning points. I understand everything. Erratic. Wash some talent. It's also in line with Bishan's setting. Pikachu in the animation, some moments can be hardened steel beasts. So it was called the God of Skin. Ash has such an awesome skin. Mulan is not envious at all, because of the special talent of Pikachu's automatic point washing. Every time it reaches a region, it will return to the novice stage again. Or is Ash paired with Pikachu like this? Can it be regarded as a perfect match? Just thinking about it, Ash has already begun to direct. Pikachu, Thunderbolt. Pikachu, the electric mouse, glowing sparkling all over, gathered together, heading towards Lucario. Perhaps it was oppressed by Lucario's momentum. Pikachu's strike Thunderbolt is very powerful. Reached the gymnasium level. But even if it reaches the gymnasium level, compared with the champion Lucario, there are still 2 grades in the middle. Xiao, use the power of Waveguide to transform into a bone club. Lead the current to the ground. Mulan gave the order casually. Luca tilde. Facing the lightning strike, Lucario let out a soft cry. A bone club was conjured up in his hand, and according to Mulan's instructions, he inserted it into the ground. Zizzy tilde. The torrent of lightning, through the bone club in Lucario's hand, was transmitted to the ground. Easily diffuses Pikachu's Thunderbolt. Using this method to defuse Pikachu's attack, Ash frowned, and let Pikachu attack again. Pikachu, use Iron Tail. Pick up. Pikachu ran fast and splashed high all at once. The tail condensed into white light and swung down towards Lucario. Lucario raised the bone club in his hand, and lightly met the Iron Tail in the air. Pikachu was pushed back more than 10 meters by the shock force, and barely stopped. In contrast to Lucario, from the beginning of the fight to the end, not a single step has moved. Next, it was all Pikachu attacks. Lucario defends, but helpless, in the face of the huge gap between the ranks. Pikachu was exhausted and unable to deal effective damage. Congratulations to the host. The system task has been completed. The power of Waveguide has been released. How to use the power of the Waveguide, please let the host understand by himself. The system beep disappears. There was an unspeakable power in Mulan's body, and an extra feeling in his mind. With the power of Waveguide, it was easily 1-11 Mulan. Xiao gang, don't come here, what do you want? Second more. With the power of Waveguide rewarded by the system, it is integrated into the body. Mulan, who is gentle, seems to have a bit more sharpness in his eyes. As soon as the battle was over, Lucario turned back immediately, looking at his trainer Mulan in surprise. Lucario, who also contains the power of Waveguide in his body, can clearly feel the difference of Mulan. Xiao, you worked hard just now. Feeling the warm Waveguide power flowing in his body, Mulan patted Lucario's shoulder with a smile. Although Lucario didn't know why Mulan changed suddenly, but he could clearly feel that the bond between Mulan and him had deepened. At the same time, Dawn, who had been observing the battle, rubbed his eyes. He said to Xiao gang beside him in an uncertain tone, Xiao gang, I don't know if it is my illusion. I always feel that Mulan big brother has become different from before. Speaking of this, Dawn paused, as if looking for the right words, thought for a while and said in a general way, it seems ... it seems to have become more handsome. Xiao gang heard this and looked at Mulan. He sighed silently again, continued to fall into a secret depression. Pikachu, you've done a great job. Ash comforted the exhausted Pikachu, walked towards Mulan and said respectfully, Brother Mulan, just now your Lucario used the bone club, steer current to ground. Really subtle tactics. Although Ash is jokingly called a stupid thing, it's just his name. It sounds like it. He is not stupid. Even if you lose the battle, you are not discouraged. Instead, absorb lessons from failures. Your Pikachu is amazing too. I also benefited a lot from playing against you. Mulin was not polite. Seeing the super god beast Pikachu can be regarded as broadening your horizons. And if it wasn't Ash for the challenge, he can't trigger the task of the system. Although Ash has traveled to several regions, he has met many people of all kinds. But there are not many people who are as strong and easy to talk as Mulin. Ash's heart moved, and he blurted out, "Brother Mulin, I want to ask you, where are you going?" Mulin is in a good mood after just getting the power of Waveguide. Plus it was Ash who asked again. Then he replied casually, "I'm going to follow the psychedelic forest. Go to the library in Canalave City and read the literature there." Ash heard this, and immediately sent out an invitation happily. "Brother Mulin, by coincidence, we also plan to go to Canalave City to challenge the gym along the psychedelic forest. Why don't we walk together?" Ash's idea is simple. If you can travel with Mulin, you can ask Mulin for tips on training Pokemon along the way. Dawn, who was listening on the sidelines, also smiled and said, "It will be very interesting if there is a Mulin big brother along the way. And I won't be confused by Stankler like before." While talking, Dawn also glanced at Ash. Xiao, who was feeling dejected by himself, hadn't recovered yet. "I don't know what to think of." All of a sudden, he jumped out of his lonely expression, warmly extended an invitation to Mulin. "Yes, Mulin, why don't we walk together?" Faced with such an enthusiastic invitation from the three of them, Mulin did not refuse, nodding with a smile in agreement. "Anyway, along the way, it's okay to walk with a few people. The more people there are, the more lively the road will be." Afterwards, he walked in the forest with the three of them. Because there is a champion Lucario by his side. Relatively irritable Pokemon such as Arbusnake and Beedrill, they dare not approach. The speed of the few people is quite fast. At this speed, it won't take long to get out of the psychedelic forest. Gradually, the sky darkened. Under the leadership of Mulin, several people found an open space to settle down. Ash, Xiao, including Dawn. "I have long been used to camping in the wild during travel." Skillfully set up the tent. With the champion Lucario at your side, you don't have to worry about wild Pokemon at night. In the camp, Dawn is preparing the tableware. Xiao prepares dinner in front of Courtney. Ash's Pikachu, Sapling Turtle, play with Dawn's Piplup. Ash is pestering Mulin, then asking non-stop, "Brother Mulin, how do you usually train Pokemon? Do you have any tricks when fighting Rock-type or Ground-type Pokemon?" The more skills Pokemon learns, the better. What was the ancient Sinnoh region like? Mulin also took the trouble and chatted with him. Even after dinner, after dark, Ash pestered Mulin persistently, asking various questions. "Ash, it's getting late. Don't bother Mulin anymore." Xiao forcefully pulled away Ash, who kept asking questions. "Okay." Ash looked at Dawn, who had already got into the tent. "And Sleepy Pikachu also knows it's getting late." After saying goodnight to Mulin, he took Pikachu back to his tent. With Ash gone, there are only him and Xiao left. "I thought Xiao urged Ash to go to rest. He will also return to his tent to rest." Unexpectedly, Xiao did not leave. Instead, he stayed in front of Mulin's tent. First, he looked around with small eyes to make sure that Ash and Dawn had fallen asleep. He leaned forward nervously. "I don't know if it's Courtney's reflection, or Xiao's skin color problem." Mulin always felt that Xiao's face was flushed. Before Mulin could speak, Xiao moved closer and whispered nervously, "That, Mulin, there's something I want to ask you to." While talking, Xiao rubbed his hands nervously. There seemed to be some kind of weird light in his eyes. See Xiao's expression now. Mulin subconsciously took a step back, distanced himself from him. "Xiao, what do you want to do?" 12 Arrive at the Mine Island, weird atmosphere. Third update. Hey. Xiao noticed that Mulin had distanced himself from him, so he moved closer. He laughed and rubbed his hands together, squinting his small eyes. Under the reflection of Courtney, Xiao blushed. "How obscene." "It's also somewhat weird." "Xiao, what do you want?" "Tell me something." Facing Xiao approaching repeatedly, Mulin didn't know why, but felt a chill in his heart. Hey, I want to ask you to ask for an autographed photo of Miss Kaluni," Xiao said in a low voice while rubbing his hands. "Mulin? Kaluni's autographed photo?" Seeing Mulin's puzzled expression, Xiao hurriedly said, "I heard that Miss Cynthia and Miss Kaluni have a good relationship, so I want to ask Mulin, can you get me one? I'm a fan of Miss Kaluni's support club." While speaking, Xiao continued to take 2 steps forward, pleading, "Please Mulin, if you can help me get Miss Kaluni's intimate autographed photo, I'm willing to do anything. Please." Hearing Xiao's appeal clearly, Mulin relaxed a little. "Go back a little first." Okay. Xiao hurriedly took 2 steps back, his tiny eyes full of hope. Xiao took 2 steps back, and Mulin felt relieved. "Look at Xiao's posture just now. I thought I was trying to do something wrong to myself tilde," he casually said. "I'll ask Cynthia later." "Very good." After receiving Mulin's reply, Xiao became more energetic. He quickly grabbed Mulin's hand and shook it vigorously. "Thank you. What do you need me to do?" Just ask. Go up the mountain of swords and down into the sea of fire. Come and go in the wind and rain. Do whatever you want. Mulin, do you know that Miss Kaluni is my idol? Every time her movie is released, I go to see it right away. As a loyal fan of hers, it is my lifelong regret not to have an autographed photo of her. Okay, I see. Mulin quickly withdrew his hand. It was really strange to be grabbed by a man like this. Hey, then please. Mulin, you are such a good person. Xiao Gang didn't mind being waved forcefully by Mulin. The thought of getting Kaluni's autographed photo through Mulin made Xiao Gang feel overwhelmed. Then I won't disturb you for now. You rest first. Xiao Gang directly changed the address from you to you. Go. Mulin waved his hand. Xiao Gang retreated with a smile on his face. After Xiao Gang left, Mulin lay down safely in the tent. Animation does not deceive me. Whether it is Ash, Xiao Gang, or Dawn, they are all in line with the characters in the animation. Ash is reckless, but kind-hearted, and works hard to become a Pokemon master. Xiao Gang can't walk when he sees a beautiful woman, and he has a loyal personality. Dawn is a cute and gentle little girl. Through contact with the three of Ash, Mulin confirmed one thing. Perhaps because of the fusion, there are some discrepancies in some details, but in general, the whole world is still developing according to the existing laws. In other words, the world is a little different though. But for Mulin, it is still transparent. In this way, Mulin is also looking forward to the future. Early the next morning, Mulin had just left the tent, and Xiao Gang was full of energy. They warmly served breakfast. Mulin, I prepared this specially for you. Premium milk from Miltank Farms. There is also Lola porridge to warm the stomach, and a fiber-rich salad. You're all Lucarios. I'm ready. In addition to preparing breakfast, Xiao Gang also pointed to the water basin not far away very intimately. By the way, I've already prepared the washing water for you. If you don't think it's hot enough, I'll boil water to warm you up immediately. Ash and Dawn stared at Xiao Gang with puzzled expressions. How come it's only been one night? Xiao Gang's attitude has undergone such a big change. Wasn't it still dejected before? Say Mulin is the public enemy of Sinnoh? Xiao Gang is so enthusiastic. Mulin is not easy to refuse. After washing, enjoy the breakfast prepared by Xiao Gang. Not to mention, Xiao Gang's cooking skills. Pretty much the same as in the anime. It's pretty tasty. After eating a full meal, several people set off again in a joyful and peaceful atmosphere. Soon, a few people who have a smooth journey then passed through the psychedelic forest, reached the outskirts of Canalave City. Canalave City is a city made up of islands. There are several magnificent bridges connecting the islands. The first stop for Mulin, Ash and others was the outermost island of Canalave City, an island built by mines, also known as Mining Island. Mine Island is the gateway island of Canalave City. Here lies the Canalave Gym, according to the instructions on the map. This is the Mine Island. Dawn compared the map, pointed to an island whose outline was first seen in the distance, and said to several people, "Great, I can't wait. I want to use the skills that Brother Mulin taught me to challenge the gym. This time, I'm full of confidence," Ash said vigorously. "Let's go." Mulin took the first step and walked in front. As the saying goes, looking at the mountain runs away to a dead horse. Although out of the psychedelic forest, the Mine Island is in front of you. But the few of them didn't arrive at Mine Island until sunset. At the same time, it also strengthened Mulin. Be sure to tame a flying Pokemon to get on your way. Walking on the streets of Mine Island, Mulin looked at the pedestrians around him. The pedestrians passing by all had their heads drooped and their bags under their eyes were extremely heavy. A look of depression. Mulin frowned slightly, and the whole Mine Island seemed to be filled with a strange atmosphere. Combined with the appearance of the people around you, Mulin thought to himself, could it be because of him? 13 Can't sleep. Darkrai, 40H. Mine Island, in front of the Pokemon Center. Brother Mulin, it's okay, let's gather here tomorrow. Ash is clearly looking forward to challenging the Canalave Gym. Unfortunately, it was already evening, and it was too late to challenge the gym. Okay, see you tomorrow. Mulin and Ash waved goodbye. Mulin big brother, see you tomorrow. Goodbye, Mulin. Pikachu, Dawn, Xiao Gang, and Pikachu also bid farewell to Mulin one after another. Ash and the others are staying at the Pokemon Center tonight. Pokemon Center provides schooling, dining, and rest rooms for trainers who hold Pokédex. Of course, it's not free. Want to take advantage of this benefit? It is necessary to pay 100,000 Alliance coins to Alliance every year, starting from the year the child is born. When the child grows up to 15 years old, then you can enjoy the service of Pokemon Center while traveling. Mulin also has Pokédex. You can also use the facilities of the Pokemon Center. But Mulin didn't, because Mulin works in the Celestic Laboratory, as a special talent protected by the Alliance. Enjoy special perks from Alliance. The annual income is as high as 5 million. To put it bluntly, Mulin is rich. No matter how perfect the Pokemon Center's facilities are, it is not as comfortable as a star hotel. Leaving Pokemon Center, found a star hotel. Although Mine Island is at the entrance of Canalave City, but the unique mining island also attracts many tourists to come and play. The hotels here are pretty good. Welcome. The front desk of the hotel greeted Mulin with a professional smile. In the smile, there was a deep sense of exhaustion. As the external output image of the hotel, the front desk lady normal will choose a beautiful lady. But this front desk lady, although she is wearing exquisite makeup, but it couldn't hide the thick dark circles under the makeup, and the whole person looked very haggard. Hello, I want to open a room. By the way, help me prepare 2 dinners. Mulin took out his alliance card and handed it to the receptionist. Okay. Please wait a moment. The front desk lady took the alliance card and operated it on the computer. Perhaps mentally ill. The lady at the front desk made a few mistakes. Mulin glanced around, found the staff at the hotel. They all have big dark circles under their eyes. Look tired. Not much different from the people you meet on the street. Taking advantage of the gap, Mulin asked curiously, "Excuse me, why do you all seem so tired?" The front desk lady handed the alliance card and room card to Mulin, smiled wryly and said, "Our mine island is home to a special Pokemon. His name is Darkrai. As soon as Darkrai appears, people in rest near him will fall into a nightmare. It was fine before. Darkrai only comes out once in a while, and the impact is minimal. But I don't know why. Darkrai has been active for 5 consecutive days. Also, Darkrai affected the entire mine island. As a result, during these 5 days, no one dared to rest. I'm afraid that once I fall asleep, I will fall into a boundless nightmare. Now everyone can only bear it hard. That's what you see now." Really, it was the same as Mulin's guess when he just stepped into the mine island and saw the strange appearance of pedestrians around him. People are haggard because they don't get enough sleep. "Okay, sorry to trouble you." Mulin put away the alliance card, turned around and followed the elevator. "Find your own room." In the room, Mulin frowned at the poorly presented noodles that night. This bowl of noodles is salty. It is estimated that when the chef was making noodles, he was sleepy and started too hard. Mulin put down the noodles in his hand and turned to look to the other side. Lucario struggling to swallow a plate of berry salad. "Xiao, do you feel anything?" Lucatilda. Hearing Mulin's inquiry, Lucario pushed aside the fruit salad in front of him and looked at Mulin. At the same time, Lucario's voice rose in Mulin's mind. There is a very vague feeling that it seems to be not far away. Exudes a violent, destructive aura. It's just that this desire comes and goes. It's not easy to catch. After obtaining the Waveguide power awarded by the system, Mulin has been able to achieve a conscious dialogue with Lucario. Frenzied, full of destructive desire? Could the aura that Xiao mentioned come from Darkrai? Mulin looked away and pondered. If Xiao can accurately capture that breath, but you can find out what's going on. Forget it, don't care about him. Let's take a shower first. In the past few days in the Phantom Forest, I haven't taken a good bath. It's sticky and uncomfortable. Mulin withdrew her thoughts, turned and walked towards the shower. Meanwhile, south of Mine Island, a group of people dressed as nasty plot are getting together, talking in a low voice. It seems that they are plotting something. 14. The conspiracy between Team Rocket and Team Galactic. 5th update. The south of Mine Island is the highest position of the entire Mine Island. Surrounding the highest point of the mine, there are circles of black ripples around. This black ripple is emitted, a black, shadow-like Pokemon. This Pokemon, it is the Darkrai known as Nightmare. Hiss. In Darkrai at this time, the contest condition is very abnormal. It looked extremely painful. There were bursts of deep neighing. It's like howling in hell, cold like a ghost. Darkrai's originally chenwood-colored eyes turned red. It's like normal being stained red with blood. The whole body lingers with a violent breath. About 300 meters from Darkrai, a group of strange people are watching Darkrai's every move through binoculars. Karen, I believe you have seen the strength of our rockets. Even Darkrai, the legendary Pokemon, it can't resist the latest violent sound wave developed by our rockets. Cooperate with our rockets, and your Team Galactic will benefit from nothing. A female voice came faintly. The speaker, with a slender figure and a pair of red phoenix eyes, stood out in the crowd. This person is the Kanto region, one of the 3 beastmen of the infamous Team Rocket. Giovanni's most trusted confidant, Sird. Sird traveled thousands of miles from the Kanto region to the Sinnoh region. It was because Giovanni gave her orders. Join Team Galactic and form allies, establish a solid alliance and realize the exchange of intelligence between the 2 evil organizations. The Karen that Sird mentioned just now is another evil organization, an important executive of Sinnoh region Team Galactic, Karen in charge of Team Galactic experiments. Karen put down the binoculars and exclaimed, I have to say, in terms of genetic research, your rockets are indeed in the lead. Even if the entire alliance is united, it is not as good as your rockets in terms of genetics. Seeing Karen's attitude, Sird took advantage of the fire. Karen, since you know our strength, when is it time for me to meet your chief, Cyrus? It's also good to finalize the cooperation between our 2 organizations as soon as possible. Karen took a deep look at Sird, but didn't answer immediately. Instead, he began to meditate. On the surface, the rockets want to exchange information with Team Galactic together to resist the alliance's suppression. But in fact, the rockets' Giovanni has big ambitions. The Kanto region has been unable to satisfy Giovanni's appetite. It is said that there is mutual exchange. In fact, they want to use the hands of Team Galactic to get their hands on the Sinnoh region. Seeing that Karen was silent, Sird continued to speak. Karen, our rockets and your Team Galactic. The goals of the two organizations do not conflict. You are trying to harness the power of Dialga and Palkia. Come create a new world. But if you want to control these two legendary beasts, they will become tools for you to create a new world. It's not easy. And our rockets just happen to have genetic technology. Our rockets are confident and can help you control them. Meanwhile, we at Team Rocket just want to revamp this decaying old world. Essentially, neither of our organizations has a stake. As I said just now, if you cooperate with our rockets, you will have nothing to lose. Apparently, Karen was swayed by Sird. It's different from the rockets running rampant in the Kanto region. Team Galactic only dared to curl up in the ground, acting extremely low-key. This also led to no progress in Team Galactic's actions. It is precisely because of this. Facing the olive branch thrown by the rockets, the leader of Team Galactic will send Karen to approach the reason. After thinking for a long time, Karen finally said, I see. I will arrange for you to meet with our leader as soon as possible. At that time, we will discuss cooperation matters. When Sird heard this, a seductive smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. At this time, Darkrai at the top of the mine, under a berserk contest condition. There was a sharp cry. Black's ripples turned into substance, violently rippling around, full of violent, berserk breath. It even rolled up the surrounding gravel. Waves of violent airwaves formed. Sir, what's going on? Karen asked, pointing to Darkrai in the distance. Hee. Sird's seductive smile was even worse, and he said disapprovingly, it's normal. The more insane you are, the easier it is to be controlled. After speaking, Sird waved to the soldiers who followed behind him. The soldier carefully took out his safe. After Sird enters the password, the safe opens. A special one was taken out. A precious ball with a pitch-black body. Sird held up the precious ball, shook it at Karen, and said, this is the latest Dusk Ball developed by our rockets. When this Darkrai is completely insane, it will be collected by this Dusk Ball. Any Pokémon included in the Dusk Ball will have their consciousness wiped out. Totally reduced to our tool. Erase self-awareness. Karen looked at the Dusk Ball in Sird's hand with some trepidation. If what Sird says is true, take what Karen knew about Cyrus. Cyrus will definitely agree to cooperate with the rockets. When Darkrai's strong evil energy fluctuates around Mulin, who has just taken a shower and is about to rest, it sensed this outgoing energy. 15 The Sird Who Got Meddled. 6th More. In the night, the two figures were running rapidly towards the highest peak of Mine Island. These two figures are exactly Mulin and Lucario, who came from the hotel. Lucario ran fast, and Mulin followed Lucario quickly. People living in the Pokémon world generally have better physical fitness. The physique of an ordinary person is also comparable to those NBA stars on Blue Star. Since Mulin gained the power of Waveguide, his physique has been greatly strengthened. Of course, want to compare with the champion Lucario. There is still a big gap, but at least we can catch up. Lucario seemed to feel that he was approaching his destination, so he sounded a reminder to Mulin. Well, I see. Mulin nodded and said, Xiao, be careful. In fact, without Mulin deliberately reminding, Lucario is already ready to fight. The momentum of the champion level is displayed wantonly. The power of the Waveguide overflowed the body, observing the surrounding situation at any time. With Mulin and Lucario approaching quickly, they ascended the highest peak of Mine Island. Darkrai. About 100 meters from Darkrai, Mulin and Lucario stopped. Darkrai in the distance, haunted by haze. Hiss. At this moment, Darkrai's eyes were bloodshot, and he kept neighing. The neighing sound was full of violence and madness. What happened? Mulin frowned tightly, and activated the system's probing eyes. Scout out Darkrai? Pokémon, Darkrai? Attribute, evil? Ability, nightmare. When rival falls into a sleeping contest condition, rival's stamina will be automatically reduced. Level, 60, elementary champion. Potential, lower level 3 god. Skills, ominous wind, disable, hypnosis, sucker punch, foul play, double team, haze, dark pulse. Exclusive skill, dark void. Contest condition, berserk, because of some kind of sound wave influence. The energy in the body is disordered. Under this contest condition, it is aggressive. Remarks. Pokémon with a legendary physique have stronger potential and faster growth. He has a natural affinity for evil energy. Hint: if this Pokémon continues to be under this violent contest condition, it will fall into irreversible trauma. Most of the second-level gods, third-level gods, or Eudemons all have ethnic groups. For example, like the current Darkrai, there are only 4 of them in the anime. Looking at Darkrai in front of him, Mulin fell into deep thought. Darkrai was drugged. That's why it will continue to emit its own energy. Causes sleepless nights for people across Mine Island. Just as Mulin was thinking, a system prompt sounded in his mind. The host triggers a random task. Mission objective: subdue Darkrai who is on the verge of madness. Task reward, the power of Chengpan? Task punishment, none. Effect 1 of power of periphery, it can help Pokemon and restore physical and mental injuries? Effect 2 of power of Viridian, activating power of Viridian can gain the vision of Pokemon? May I ask the host if he understands the mission? Read the mission of the system in full. Mulin was overjoyed, and responded directly in his mind without hesitation. Get it? After obtaining the power of Waveguide before, his own physique has been greatly improved. The current power of Chengpan can even repair Pokemon's injuries. Second, you can also gain Pokemon's vision. This is extremely beneficial in battle. Mulin looked at Lucario, who was already ready to go, and said, Xiao, this is the first real rival we met during our travels. Are you ready? Lucario clenched his fists, surging like a champion. His eyes were full of fighting spirit that was about to overflow. Fight Ash's Pikachu, for whom it's just fun. Only a rival that is equal in strength can be truly called a duel. Mulin is very satisfied with Lucario's contest condition. He waved his hand. Xiao, let's go. Luca, one person, one Pokemon, fast dash. Hiss. As Mulin and Lucario approached, Darkrai's blood-red eyes lock on them. The rage that was stagnant in his chest and could not be vented seems to have found a place to vent. On the other side of Mine Island, Karen and Sird, who were observing with a telescope, both found Mulin and Lucario. Why is he here? Shouldn't he be in Celestic Town? Karen from Team Galactic voiced his doubts. As a native of Sinnoh region, Karen is no stranger to Mulin. Mulin, who works at the Celestic Laboratory, has already made a name for himself in the scientific community. Sird on the side put down the binoculars. The look on the face is very unpleasant. She already has Darkrai in her pocket. But I didn't expect someone to intervene at such a critical time. With a frosty face, he asked, who is he? Karen explained to Sird in a low voice. He is Mulin, a scholar who focuses on studying history. 16 The Lucario who surges and roars, Part 1. A scholar who focuses on studying history? His Pokemon is a champion. Sird has some doubts about Karen's explanation. After all, human energy is limited. If you want to achieve academically, you must go through years of study and accumulation. How could there be time to delve into how to train Pokemon? Of course, there are many academically successful professors. The strength of their Pokemon is also very strong, such as Professor Oak. In addition to his academic accomplishments, his main battle Pokemon is also very strong. It is said that when Samuel Oak was young, he participated in the Indigo Plateau Conference and won a good ranking. But Mulin is only 20 years old. As an accomplished historian, the main battle of Pokemon has reached the terrifying champion level. This, I don't know. I only knew him as a historian. Didn't pay much attention to his main battle Pokemon. Karen started. Sird frowned, his face covered with frost. I feel very dissatisfied with Mulin's intervention. Seeing Sird's expression, Karen probably guessed what the other person was thinking, and quickly said, Sird, although we brought a lot of people, but there is always a gap. Also, it's still unknown whether that Mulin has any other main battle experience. If he has another main battle Pokemon, then we are passive. Team Galactic, Rockets. There are now 15 people from both sides combined. But the problem is, the strength shown by Mulin's Lucario has reached the championship level. Sird's upturned dancing eyes were full of coldness, and he opened his mouth unwillingly. So much time wasted on setting up this Darkrai. Is it hard to give up like this? Hey, Karen sighed heavily. Sird, the strength of your Rockets team has been understood through this contact. It is necessary to cause more trouble. And this Mulin is not an ordinary historian. His fiancée is Cynthia, champion of the Sinnoh region. And he has a close relationship with the Kale from Celestic Laboratory. The power behind him is a bit huge. This is not Kanto. The strength of Alliance is still great. Now is not the time to confront Alliance head-on. When Sird heard this, even if he felt unwilling, he could only swallow it forcefully. Indeed, the collaboration of the two organizations. It is her mission this time. After simple thinking, since Mulin intervened, but at least it will not affect the task assigned by Giovanni. With a decision in his heart, Sird waved his hand. Get out. Let's go. Karen sighed and led Team Galactic's minions back. Sird took a deep look at Mulin before leaving. Print his appearance in your mind. Sird and Karen's retreat. Mulin is not clear. At this time, he put all his attention on Darkrai under the Berserk contest condition. Hiss. Darkrai under the Berserk contest condition, and the lingering haze surging rapidly immediately formed a cloudy wind. Dark night, a cold storm, and the low neighing of the Darkrai. Have to say, just this environment, quite a bit of a sense of deja vu from a horror movie. Ominous wind of the ghost system. When Darkrai made a move, Mulin judged the opponent's move. Xiao, use Aura Sphere to defeat that evil wind. Lucario roared wildly, diluting the weird atmosphere. The power of Waveguide surged wildly. With spiked hands, a pure white energy bomb was condensed, fling away towards the storm that is rolled up by the dark wind. Boom! Exclamation mark. The two energies collided together, causing a huge explosion. The airwaves generated by the explosion caused the surrounding rubble to fly. After the first round of collision between the two sides, Mulin immediately spoke out to seize the advantage. Xiao, use power-up punch. Lucario stomps on ground like a sharp arrow, piercing the air, caused a howl. Ben rushed out like a thunderbolt. Double fists, aimed at Darkrai. Hiss. Under the violent contest condition, Darkrai did not sit still in the face of rival's attack. The dense haze around is intense, facing Lucario who is rushing forward. All poured out. Haze rippling the air, formed a circle of ripples visible to the naked eye. All of them struck towards Lucario. Bang. There was a sound of physical collision. Lucario's fists hit Darkrai, make Darkrai afloat. He was knocked back a few steps by the huge force. At the same time, intense haze also hit Lucario in succession. Lucario was knocked out by the constant evil energy on his face. Boom! Lucario, made of Waveguide all over his body, fell heavily to the ground. A big hole was smashed, causing a cloud of smoke. Amidst the smoke and dust, Lucario slowly stood up. Because of being smacked down to the ground, there is a lot of dust on his body. It looks a little embarrassed on the outside, but originally his pair of red pupils, but extremely sharp! Lucario simply ignored rival Darkrai, clenched fists, howling up to the sky. At the same time, momentum is rising rapidly. Lucario at this time, like a peerless magic weapon, showing the edge to destroy everything. Lucario's roar rippling throughout the entire mine island. People on the island who cannot sleep because of nightmares, all shocked, looking at the highest peak on the island. There, it seems that the wind and clouds are surging. 17 Darkrai's exclusive skills. The next moment will determine the outcome. Second update. Lucario uses fighting skills. It can deal outstanding damage to the evil Darkrai. In turn, because of Darkrai's evil skills, it can only cause half damage to Lucario, which is a combination of fighting and steel. It can be said that on attribute, Lucario has completely defeated Darkrai. At the same time, Lucario's ability, Heart of Justice, it also exerts the restraint of evil Pokémon to the limit. This is also the basis of Mulin's confidence in going against Darkrai. Darkrai just now seemed to be a powerful and continuous dark pulse. It can't do much damage to Lucario. Instead, because of evil energy, let Lucario's attack quadruple reached the limit. Xiao, use Brick Break. Mulin quickly gave orders. Lucario's attack has been improved to the greatest extent, but at the same time that the power is soaring, it is also a great consumption for Lucario. The fight must end as soon as possible. Lucario stomps on ground. The huge force seemed to make the surrounding ground tremble. Numerous small cracks were cracked. Lucario launched a straight impact like a cannonball. Hiss. Seeing Lucario's incomparably powerful attack, Darkrai responded quickly. Both paws are covered with a thick layer of haze. Without hesitation, he waved it at Lucario who was attacking. Boom! Two Pokémon collide violently with each other. Both sides retreated more than 10 meters. Hiss. Darkrai originally covered the surrounding haze, with a reduction of physical strength, started to get thinner. But those blood-red eyes were still violent. It seems to subdue him, only by defeating him completely. The other side. Lucario also lost some of his strength. Compared with the continuous dark pulse before, this time he lost more physical strength. But the sharpness in the eyes is not reduced by half. The momentum is still turbulent. Darkrai's move just now should be foul play. Through the analysis of Lucario's damaged situation, Mulin came to a conclusion. Foul play is a skill of the evil department. This skill has a peculiarity. The higher the attack, the greater the damage. It's also Lucario's turn this time around. The reason for the loss of stamina was more than the previous round. But even if it's foul play, it's still an evil skill in the final analysis. Xiao still has the absolute upper hand in attribute. Thinking of this, Mulin's eyes froze, and he quickly gave an order. Xiao, use Rock Smash. Lucario sprints fast, stabs overdrive fast, brings out bursts of sonic boom. If hit by Lucario of the same level consecutively, even the Udman's Darkrai can't bear it. Hiss. Face off against the lightning-fast Lucario. Darkrai's remaining sanity told him that he could not harden steel. The claws swung quickly, and a strange energy overflowed from Darkrai's body. Suddenly, Lucario, who was rushing forward, found the space in front of him. Twisted. A black aperture, created out of thin air. More than 10 pairs of black hands protruded from the aperture, grabbed towards Lucario. This is Darkrai's exclusive skill, Dark Hole. Mulin who pays attention to the battle situation. You can see the opponent's moves at once. Most of the Udmans and Divine Beasts have their own exclusive skills. It's just their exclusive skills. Most of them are attack skills, like precipice blades that can't fly. The organ pulse of the fathead dragon are sent by Rayquaza. It can be among many Udmans and mythical beasts with exclusive skills. There are two outliers. One of these two heterogeneous is Darkrai. Darkrai's exclusive skills, not an offensive skill that directly deals damage. Darkrai's Dark Hole, Once it hits rival, you can force the other party to sleep contest condition. This sleep contest condition, it cannot be awakened by sound or movement. You can only fight with your own willpower. Once Lucario falls into forced sleep contest condition, then the balance of the battle will be tilted towards Darkrai. Fortunately for Darkrai's exclusive skills, Mulin has long been prepared. Use the power of Waveguide to connect to Lucario, and quickly issue instructions through ideas. Xiao, use extreme speed to dodge. Lucario's talent for speed skills. It was perfectly displayed at this time. When Blackhand wanted to drag him, he abruptly stopped his forward momentum. At the same time, the force of the Waveguide overflowing the body exploded, burst out a huge impact. Dodge in the opposite direction. Perfectly dodged Darkrai's dark hole, falling back to Mulin's side. Xiao, are you okay? Lucario shook his head, indicates that the attack just now did not hit him. It is good, Mulin responded. So he focused his attention on Darkrai. Exclusive skills are used. Spent a lot of Darkrai's energy. Haze that lingers around, become thinner. Seeing this, Mulin said again, Xiao, it's time to decide the outcome. Lucario heard it, and let out another warlike howl. 18 victory to get the power of the rock. Darkrai showed goodwill. From the beginning of the battle, Mulin only let Lucario use some less powerful fighting skills. The powerful skill of fighting, close combat, is not used. That is to allow Lucario to hit the target and change moves quickly. Now, get hit in a row. Darkrai, who consumes a huge amount of energy to display his exclusive skills in a short period of time, there is no possibility of continuing to release exclusive skills. Come on, come on, use close combat. After a long howl, Lucario left behind a long series of sonic boom sounds. Launched an impact. Once hit, Mulin is confident that he can completely disintegrate Darkrai. Hiss. Darkrai did not sit still in the face of Lucario's onslaught. Like a shadow body, quickly blurred, it sank towards the ground. In order to avoid Lucario's attack, it's useless. Change it to someone else. Under the cover of night, lurk underground. It's really hard to detect where Darkrai is, but it doesn't matter if it's Lucario or Mulin. They all contain the power of Waveguide in their bodies. Even though Darkrai is hiding underground, the power of Waveguide can also detect their positions. At this point, Darkrai is being targeted to death. Soon, Lucario then lock on where Darkrai is hiding. Since the other party doesn't come out, then force him out. Xiao, use Meteor Mash. Mulin gave an order. Lucario sprang into action immediately. Lucario's fist shone with intense white light representing steel-type energy. The white light transformed into a huge iron fist. In the dark, it shines like a searchlight. Lucario punched the ground where Darkrai was hiding. Boom! Exclamation mark. Countless flying sand and rocks danced wildly around. The strong wind even broke the surrounding small trees. A huge crater of fist prints nearly 20 meters formed. On the edge of the giant pit, Darkrai also completely exposed his figure. Xiao, don't let rival escape this time. Use extreme speed, followed by close combat. Lucario is like a rushing meteor, with a speed that is difficult to distinguish with the naked eye. Tackle was on top of Darkrai, who had no time to react. At the moment of contact, Lucario's punches, feet like a storm normal, continuously hit Darkrai's body. Congratulations to the host, complete the task and subdue Darkrai? The power of periphery has been released? How to use the power of Viridian, please let the host understand by himself? As the system's prompt sound appeared in Mulin's mind, this battle also felt a veilstone. Mulin felt an indescribable energy in his body. Nourish your body all the time. Lucario, who had just finished the battle, was panting heavily. Although the physical damage just now was not serious, but it is necessary to maintain the contest condition that quadruples the attack. Really consumes a lot. Hoo-hoo. It makes a sound like a bellows pumping air. At this time Mulin stepped forward and took out several precious coins. Citrus berry that restores Pokemon's stamina. Pushed it into Lucario's hand. Xiao, eat a few berries. It can help you recover your stamina quickly. Out of the fight, Lucario also relaxed. Put the berries in your mouth and chew slowly. Xiao, winning is beautiful. Mulin patted Lucario's shoulder appreciatively. Where Pokemon does well, it must be encouraged in time. Lucario smiled happily. Soothe the dog. Mulin looked at Darkrai, who was lying on the side. Haze had dissipated, although physically exhausted and passed out. But Darkrai's violent contest condition did not dissipate completely. Frenzy factor still torturing him. Mulin leaned over, gently placed his hand on Darkrai's forehead. At the same time, use the power of Viridian that you just obtained. Imported to Darkrai's body. The moment when the power of Viridian merged, Darkrai's expression became relaxed. Sweat dripped from Mulin's forehead drop by drop. Just got the power of Evergreen. Haven't worked out yet. The total amount in the body is not much. To heal Darkrai, Mulin squeezed almost all of them. Really not a drop. But fortunately, through hard work, Darkrai also finally transformed quietly. blood-red eyes. It also regained clarity. Change back to original Chenwood color. Because Darkrai recovers. Mulin's spirit relaxed. Almost sat down on the ground. Fortunately, Lucario helped him in time. Lucario stood beside Mulin, acting as a guard. Keep an eye on Darkrai. Prevent the opponent from making a move. After all, just now, the two of them were still rivals. It's okay. Mulin waved his hand weakly. Tell Lucario to relax. Detected by Waveguide force. Mulin could sense Darkrai's heart at this moment. Full of kindness and closeness. The attribute of Darkrai is Dark type. It doesn't mean they are bad Pokémon. Dark type is just a classification. Dark type Pokémon, same as any other Pokémon, can clearly perceive other people's emotions towards themselves. When Mulin was treating Darkrai just now, Darkrai accepted Mulin's kindness. Moreover, because Mulin is accompanied by the power of Viridian all over his body, made Darkrai feel close. Darkrai, who secretly attacked you? Taking a steady breath, Mulin asked. Hiss tilde. Without any scruples, Darkrai poured out to Mulin. 19 Conquer, Darkrai, do you still have this function? What happened? It's about the same as what Mulin guessed. Darkrai was originally living in his own cave. Someone set up several strange machines around his residence. In the machine, there will be bursts of strange sound waves. These strange sound waves will cause energy disturbance in Darkrai's body, thus falling into a violent contest condition. Then, sanity continued to be devoured. Darkrai is irrepressible, like exuding his exclusive breath around. As a result, the residents of Mine Island cannot sleep. A sound wave that can drive Pokémon into a berserk contest condition. Mulin rubbed his chin, thinking silently. According to the original book, only the Rockets have this ability. In the comics, Team Rocket uses genetic means to control Pokémon more than once. In the game, an ordinary Magikarp is forced to evolve into Gyarados, even change the color of its exterior. But this is Sinnoh region. Even if the Rockets have a long hand, they don't want to stretch it here. And the Darkrai are here, and only the locals know about it. It's very likely that the Rockets will combine with the local Team Galactic. Giovanni is forming Team Rainbow Rockets? Forget it. Let's put it aside for now. Turn around. Tell Cynthia to pay her attention. Mulin put away his thoughts and turned his attention to Darkrai, who was facing him. After the battle just now, Mulin is more and more satisfied with Darkrai in front of him. Darkrai would be suppressed if not for Lucario in every way. It's a different Pokémon, seriously. Most likely not Darkrai's rival. The performance of the body is as blurred as the Ghost series. This also gives Darkrai the ability to pass through walls. At the same time, exclusive skill, Dark Hole. There is a very high probability that rival will be forced to sleep contest condition. Enter. You can output as an assassin. Back, rival can be weakened safely. As for Darkrai's ability to give people nightmares, Mulin wasn't worried that after subduing him, he wouldn't be able to sleep at night. Like the more familiar Rapid Ash, the whole body was burning with flames. Anyone other than the trainer will be burned if touched. But if it is your own trainer touch, there will be no harm. On the contrary, it will be very warm. The same goes for Darkrai's ability. Moreover, Darkrai, whose rank has reached the champion level, can control his own ability more freely. When Mulin had an idea to subdue Darkrai, Darkrai was also silently sizing up Mulin with his Chenwood eyes. The eternal power circulating in Mulin's body naturally attracted Darkrai. At the same time, defeating him just now also proved that he is a powerful trainer. The reason why Darkrai lives in a deserted cave, it is because I have not been able to meet a suitable trainer. But it seems that Mulin is a very good trainer, and for some reason, Darkrai, who has equally developed sentience. I always feel that there seems to be a mysterious and indescribable aura about Mulin. This breath seemed to faintly protect him. Intuition told Darkrai, this faint breath, it seems to have originated from some powerful mythical beast. It's the kind of beast that dominates. Mulin didn't hide his desire to subdue Darkrai. Actively and directly, Darkrai, would you like to be our partner? Then he patted Lucario on the shoulder. Come with us and travel the world. To become stronger, to become a better version of yourself. Mulin didn't promise anything indiscriminately in order to subdue Darkrai. Darkrai is not a newborn Caterpie, and Pokémon can also perceive trainer's mind. Make up some lies to trick Pokémon. Maybe it will be foresight at once. Instead, he lifted a rock and shot himself in the foot. Hiss. Darkrai did not refuse, but nodded in confirmation. Mulin is interested in thinking of a divine beast of a dominant level. What else is there to hesitate about? It is good. Mulin was also very straightforward. He took out an empty luxury ball and pointed it at Darkrai. Don't resist later. If you enter the ball, you will be subdued. Hiss. Darkrai nodded silently. Mulin pressed the luxury ball in his hand. After a burst of red light, Darkrai was included in the ball. Kuang tilde. The luxury ball swayed a little, then stopped soon. A moment to stop at luxury ball. Mulin established the initial bond with Darkrai in his heart. Pressed the luxury ball again, and Darkrai appears. Hiss. Darkrai pointed to the luxury ball in Mulin's hand and called out twice. I don't like being in this ball. Feel uncomfortable? Well, I see. Mulin nodded, expressing his understanding. The luxury ball in your hand is expensive, but it is not suitable for Darkrai to live. If you have a chance later, I'll give you another dream ball. Dream ball, relatively niche. The price is also relatively high, but it is more suitable for Darkrai. It's just not a good buy. Hiss. Darkrai replied, and the shadowy body began to blur, melted into the shadow of Mulin. Okay, Darkrai, you still have this function? Mulin looked at Darkrai in shock, who had merged into his own shadow. The Pokemon that can enter the shadow of others can only be done by the ghost family. Darkrai, who had merged into the shadow, revealed his figure and waved his hand, said it was nothing. Mulin is quite satisfied with this function of Darkrai. Even the dream ball is saved. And Darkrai hiding in the shadows. In battle, you can also catch rival by surprise. It didn't take long when Mulin conquered Darkrai. A siren sounded in the distance. Several zip cars with the same appearance were driving towards the place where Mulin was. Through the appearance of the zip car, Mulin knew that it was the special car of the investigator Officer Jenny. Just fought Darkrai. There was such a big commotion. It's normal for Officer Jenny and the others to rush over when they heard a voice. It's just speed. A little slower. Things are settled. Just come. But this also confirms a sentence. Jenny is never absent, but always late. 20 Cynthia, boy, are you brave? 5th update. Early the next morning, Mulin followed the time agreed with Ash and the others. Came to the Pokemon Center to wait for them. Maybe Ash and the others didn't sleep well last night. When the appointed time came, he still hadn't shown up. But Mulin is not in a hurry. Ash and the others didn't know that they subdued Darkrai by themselves. Fear of having nightmares. It is possible to rest on the facade all night. Just in time for Mulin to wait. The phone on the waist rang. It's a video call from Cynthia. After connecting to the video, Cynthia's pretty face appeared on the phone. Mulin, are you okay? Cynthia's face was full of anxiety. I'm fine. Okay. Mulin leaned on the sofa of the Pokemon Center, with a nice smile on his lips. Real? Get up and turn around and show me. Cynthia asked Mulin to turn around. Helpless, Mulin had to turn around. Cynthia was relieved to confirm that Mulin was fine. Then he said suspiciously, Mulin, you're scaring me to death. I heard the report from my subordinates early this morning. Says heavy fighting broke out on mine island in Canalave City. You subdued Darkrai under the Berserk contest condition? Mulin nodded honestly. You are right. But to be precise, I also subdued Darkrai. What? You also subdued Darkrai? Question mark. In the video, Cynthia's mouth is slightly open, with an incredible expression on her face. Yes, Mulin replied calmly. There are a lot of people here, so it's not convenient to show. See you later. I'll show you again. But it was so calm and breezy that it scared Cynthia again. Mulin as his fiancé. Cynthia is very clear about Mulin. Mulin has only one main Pokemon, the gym-level Lucario. How could it be possible to subdue Darkrai? Although Cynthia is not on the scene. But at least she knows a little bit, as humans. Darkrai at least started as an elite gym-grade Lucario. How could it be possible to beat the elite-level Darkrai? To Cynthia's surprise, Mulin can also understand. After all, it was also a system that only awakened after Cynthia left Celestic Town. Mulin gently joked and changed the topic. My fiancé is Sinnoh's champion. As your future husband, how can I hold you back? Hee. Cynthia in the picture, with a small wrinkled nose, looks very cute. Also, the man I personally selected. Definitely not something out of the pool. Cynthia wanted to continue asking about last night, but suddenly stopped. Putting the phone close to his eyes, he carefully looked at Mulin in the picture. Mulin, why do I feel that you have become different? How to say? Mulin said with a smile. I just became handsome. Yes, it's just becoming handsome. Cynthia struggled for a while before deciding on the words. Mulin, who has obtained the power of Waveguide and the power of Ordinary Pan. Indeed, there has been a change in temperament. At first glance, it looks polite, as gentle, respectful and frugal as a piece of beautiful jade. But upon closer inspection, there seemed to be a sharp edge hidden in his eyes. Then you mean I was not handsome before? Mulin asked back. Is this sentence familiar? That's right. Walk the way of women. Let women have nowhere to go. Hate. You know I don't mean it. My Mulin has always been the most handsome. Cynthia replied. During a chat with Cynthia, the three of Ash also came out of the accommodation area of the Pokemon Center. Ash, Xiao gang, hurry up. We're already late. It's not good to keep Mulin big brother waiting for a long time. Dawn's gentle voice sounded. Damn it, I was afraid of having a nightmare last night, so I didn't sleep much all night. Ash rubbed his dry eyes and followed Dawn. Pikachu on Ash's shoulders. He also responded weakly. A few times in the middle of the journey, I couldn't bear it and fell asleep. I'm telling you, it's scary when you're asleep. In my dream, I dreamed of Xiao, Lulina, Maxiu, and Miss Galuni. In the dream, they all turned into ghosts, scaring me to death. Xiao gang said with a look of horror. Dawn pointed to Mulin, who was sitting aside, with his back to them, who was video chatting with Cynthia, and said, Okay, look. Mulin big brother is already waiting for us. Let's go there quickly. Okay, got it. Mulin big brother, we are late. Brother Mulin, good morning. Ash, Dawn, and Xiao gang greeted Mulin one after another. Mulin, who was holding the phone, heard a voice behind him. He turned around and greeted the three of them. The sharp-eyed Xiaogang accidentally saw Cynthia on the other end of the video call, immediately said in surprise, "I'll go." "It's Miss Cynthia." Ash and Dawn were quite frightened by Xiaogang's voice. "They are friends I met during my travels." Mulin explained the three to Cynthia with a smile. "Hi everyone." Cynthia greeted the three dignifiedly. "Hi Sister Cynthia." "Hello Champion Cynthia." Both Ash and Dawn greeted Cynthia one after another. Only Xiaogang didn't. Xiaogang squinted and saw Cynthia in the video. Seems to think of something. Too late to say hello. Immediately pulled away Ash and Dawn. Mulin and Miss Cynthia must have something. Let's not bother them. We didn't have breakfast anyway. Let's go have breakfast first. After speaking, whether Ash or Dawn agrees or disagrees, he just pulled them both away. While walking, he winked at Mulin. The mouth moves. Mouth to Mulin. "Mulin, an autographed photo of Miss Kaluni. Please." Mulin watched the three leave speechlessly. Xiaogang's earnest expression just now was hard for him to ignore. No way. Mulin had to speak to Cynthia in the video. "Cynthia, can you get me an autographed photo of Kaluni?" "Cynthia, good guy, in front of my face. Want another woman's photo?" "What does it mean?" "Young man, you are very brave." 21 Cynthia, I'm a bit hungry too. Smelly Mulin. "I'm not pretty enough. I'm still not good enough for you." "Keep you hungry?" In the video, Cynthia looks delicate, glamorous, interested, lustful, little, dripping, emotional. No matter which world you are in, no matter what the identity of the other party is. What does it have to do with me? As long as the other party's gender is female, then there must be something in common. Sloppy. Mulin quickly explained. "How come? My baby is even prettier than a fairy in the sky." "Kaluni's picture is not what I want." "That squint-eyed friend just wanted it. He said he was a huge Kaluni fan. That's why I'm asking you for a signed photo of Kaluni." I thought to myself, my baby is so gentle and kind, beautiful and generous, understanding, delicate in thought, smart and cute, beautiful and intelligent. It will definitely help. That's why I spoke. That's more or less. Cynthia in the video hums. Cynthia knows that Mulin is not a playboy. Moreover, even if Mulin intends to cheat and not in front of my own face. Just now, I was just deliberately playing a little temper. Just kidding. I ran into Kaluni later. I'll ask her for one. Seeing that Cynthia's attitude softened, Mulin changed the topic and said, "My baby is fine in everything. However, there are still some small shortcomings." "Okay?" ? "What is shortcoming?" Cynthia in the video brushes her long hair from her forehead. "Act like you're talking nicely." "Forehead." "Well. How should I put it?" Mulin deliberately pretended not to dare to speak. "Cynthia, say it." Seeing Cynthia take the bait, I hesitated for a while. Mulin then said slowly, "This is the only shortcoming. It's just that I haven't been fed enough." "Oh." Here Mulin teasing himself. Cynthia blushed slightly, but she still teased generously. "Coincidentally, I'm a little hungry too." Mulin expressed expectation. "Oh. Then why don't you come to Canalave City? Shall we have a full meal?" I heard that in Canalave City, there is a new shop that does delicious ice cream. The signature of their store is vanilla popsicles. When you arrive, I'll treat you to popsicles. Cynthia's expression moved. "It's a pity that you will stay on Linglan Island for a while. Deal with the backlog of business over there. Wait until I finish what I'm doing. I'll come to you. At that time, you can treat me to a good meal." "No problem," Mulin said with a smile. "That's settled. It's free. You come to me." After joking with Cynthia casually, Mulin hung up the phone. The video call just hung up not long ago. Xiaogang waiting in the distance just ran over in a hurry. Squinting his eyes, he looked pleasing. He whispered, "How is it? Is it finished?" Mulin looked at Xiaogang's disheveled look, and said with a smile, "It's done. Kaluni will come to Sinnoh later, and I'll get you one." "Yeah." Xiaogang Mega is excited, like a 6-year-old boy. "Got an Ultraman toy like that?" Mulin. "Again." "Come and go in the wind and rain. Up to the mountain of swords and down to the sea of fire. As long as you order, I will jump down without hesitation." Pikachu, who was lying on Ash's shoulder, saw Xiaogang's inexplicable excitement. Asked Ash with a puzzled look. What deal did Mulin and Xiaogang make? Let Xiaogang be so excited. "I do not know either. Anyway, Brother Mulin seems to have a magical power that makes people like him." Ash ate a steamed bun and spoke vaguely. "Okay, Ash, you're right." Dawn took a sip of soy milk, and looked at Mulin who was smiling slightly in the distance with the corners of his mouth slightly raised. He muttered in his mouth, "I don't know if it's my illusion." "How does it feel that Brother Mulin disappeared all night?" "You're handsome again." After breakfast, the three of Mulin and Ash came to the Canalave gym. Before entering the gymnasium, Mulin whispered a few words in Ash's ear. Ash also agreed seriously one by one. "Don't worry, Brother Mulin. I will always remember what you said. I have 200% confidence." "Take the badge from Canalave gym." Ash challenged the gym this time. "As a test to review your own learning results." "Come on." Mulin smiled and nodded. "I will." Ash walked into the gymnasium with arrogance. Ash from Pallet Town. I want to challenge the gym. 22 Xiaogang, Mulin can actually change the stubborn Ash. Part 1. Inside the Canalave gym. Mulin, Xiaogang, and Dawn. Take a seat in the auditorium on the side. Ash excitedly went to the opposite platform. The owner of the Canalave Gym introduced himself in a low voice. My name is Wintermelon. It's the owner of the Canalave Gym. The Pokemon I use, attribute is the toughest steel type. Ash from Pallet Town. You are here to challenge the gym, right? I have to say, the name Dongua. It's a bit silly tilde. Ash clenched his fists, looking confident. That's right, the owner of Dongua Pavilion. Please teach me a lot. Hee. Dongua laughed in a husky voice. It's been a long time since I've seen such a confident challenger. I accept your challenge. After speaking, he waved his hand. There are staff around, starting to prepare for the battlefield. In the audience, Xiao Gang said, Curator Dongua and Curator Rock of Chinchai are father and son. It can be seen that the strength of the Curator Dongua should be very strong, and the Pokemon used is the steel type with the roughest skin and thickest flesh. Didn't know Ash would be able to win badge smoothly. Dawn on the side said, that's right. I see the information on Pokédex. There are 18 attributes in total, and steel Pokemon are highly resistant to 11 of them. While the two were chatting, the battle between Ash and Dongua started first. The beginning of the battle, Dongua chose to use a level 20 Iron. Ash's side, use Pikachu directly when you come up. After the referee announced the start of the match, Dongua was the first to give the order, Iron, use Iron Head. Or, there was a faint white light shining on Iron's head, and he was walking on 4 short legs. Attack on Pikachu, face Iron's attack. Ash did not choose to be reckless as before. Instead, think quietly in your mind. Brother Mulin said so. Steel type, rock type kind of bulky Pokemon. There is no roundabout strategy, only hard work. As long as you can bear your temper, look for flaws in the opponent's attack. It will be invincible. Thinking of this, Ash said, Pikachu, dodge the opponent's attack. Pick up. Pikachu followed Ash's instructions and moved quickly. Dodge the slower Iron attack. Chance. Looking at the timing, Ash calmly said, Pikachu uses Thunder Shock. Pick up. Electricity flashed from Pikachu. Hit the slower moving Iron. After Mulin's training, Ash is in the battle. The state of mind became calm. In the battle, the great power of Thunderbolt was given up. But it is an extremely energy-consuming skill. Choose to use the less expensive Thunder Shock. Come meet rival. It is no longer a mindless use of powerful skills and each other hard steel. Begin to understand details. Immediately afterwards, Dongua directed Iron to attack again. Each time, Ash made Pikachu concentrate on dodging, then look for openings and unleash Thunder Shock. Gradually, Iron suffered continuous Thunder Shock. The body exhibits paralysis contest condition. The originally slow speed dropped again. At this time, Iron became a living target. Let Pikachu easily solve it by kiting. Pretty good job. Ash encouraged Pikachu. At the same time, they looked at Mulin in the auditorium. Brother Mulin is right. What the trainer cares about should not be temporary gains and losses. It's about controlling the overall situation. Receiving Ash's gaze, Mulin showed a faint smile to show encouragement. Ash to start the second round. More and more calm. Using Pikachu is a little bit faster. Building up bit by bit belongs to his advantage. Finally, Dongua's 3 Pokemon were all defeated by Pikachu. Ash also ushered in the victory of the Gymnasium Challenge. Good job Ash. You know how to use the characteristics of your Pokemon to your advantage. You are a good trainer. Dongua, who was so loud, handed the Canalave badge to Ash. Ash stared blankly at the badge in his hand. Little did he know that Ash's heart had already caused waves. Although not the first time to get badge, but so easy. Tailwind beat rival from beginning to end. It's the first time, and, this badge. Significance. Using only Pikachu, he easily defeated the other 3 Pokemon. It is commonly known as one wears 3. All this is due to the beginning of the challenge. Mulin's suggestion to him. Ash clenched the meaningful badge in his hand, looked at Mulin in the audience. Brother Mulin. Thank you. He quickly ran to the auditorium and shared his joy with Mulin. Congratulations Ash. I got the Canalave badge. Mulin responded with a light smile. Brother Mulin. Your teaching to me is very important. Ash bowed deeply to Mulin. Xiaogang used to be a gym master before traveling with Ash. Eyesight is still there. Can see. The key to Ash's victory was changed before. Not caring about anything is just a reckless habit. In battle, become calm and calm. Begin to understand how to use tactics. Build an effective edge. Mulin is amazing. Just a few words before the game made Ash, who has a stubborn personality, change. As expected of Miss Cynthia's chosen fiancé, Xiaogang couldn't help admiring in his heart. At the same time, Dongui heard Ash calling Mulin's name. I was a little taken aback. He walked over with a smile on his face. 23 This is the rhythm of gathering the power of the 3 gods. Hi, I'm Dongua. Forgive my presumptuousness. I just heard Ash calling you to be Mulin. I want to ask, are you a Celestic Laboratory? Mr. Professor Mulin, who specializes in history? Dongua approached honestly and extended his right hand friendly. That's right, it's me. The owner of Dongua Pavilion knows me. Mulin searched for memories of Dongua in his mind. The two have never met. Hee. Dongwu smiled honestly. We are the premier historical research specialist in the Sinnoh region. Mulin professor who specializes in deciphering ancient documents. Why don't you know him? It's just that I have always heard the name of Mulin professor. I've never seen a real person. I didn't expect Mulin professor to be so young. Hee. The curator of Dongwu is overrated. Mulin waved his hand and said modestly, Brother Mulin is not only a historian, still a mega trainer. After Mulin's suggestion, I can defeat the 3 Pokemon of Director Dongwu. Ash stood aside and said excitedly, oh, a look of surprise flashed in Dongwu's eyes. Mulin professor, is he still a formidable trainer? Before Mulin could answer, Ash stood aside and said in a showy tone, it's not that great. It's mega. The Lucario cultivated by Brother Mulin is mega strong. Is it? Mulin professor, there are also steel-type Pokemon. Dongwu couldn't help being a little curious when he heard this. Dongwu likes steel Pokemon very much, although the overall strength of the steel Pokemon is very strong. But compared with those mainstream genres such as fire, water, and psychic, there are relatively few trainers majoring in steel. The entire Pokemon world adds up. There are only 3 people in total, specializing in steel Pokemon. They are Johto region and Jasmine, who is in charge of the Audiobook gym, and retired Hoenn region champion, Steven. The last one is Dongwu. Therefore, Dongwu is very interested in Mulin's Lucario. Not as exaggerated as Ash said. Normal. Mulin smiled and waved his hands. Normal, the third in the universe. When Dongwu heard this, he narrowed his eyes. What Mulin said just now was in a humble tone. As he looks, he is a gentle gentleman. But Dongwu was keen and caught the hidden under Mulin's eyes. Strong confidence in the strength of your own Pokemon. Immediately, Dongwu said, Mulin professor, it's better to meet by chance than to invite each other. Since we are gathered at the Canalave gym today, why don't you and I have a duel battle? Mulin was slightly taken aback. Just when Mulin was in a daze, a system beep appeared in my mind. Congratulations to the host for activating the random mission. Mission objective, defeat Dongwu's main battle Pokemon and get the Canalave gym badge. Task reward, superpower. Task punishment, none. Effect 1 of superpower, you can move objects with your mind. Effect 2 of superpower, optimize the body of the host autonomously, so that the host can surpass the limit of human beings. May I ask the host if he has received the task? Quickly went through the tasks issued by the system. Just get the badge from the Canalave gym. Just reward superpowers. This free reward have a reason for ejection. This is the rhythm of gathering all 3 divine powers. There is something about this system. Without even thinking about it, Mulin responded in his mind. Receive the task. The director of Dongwu is right. It's better to meet by chance than to invite each other. Since we are destined, let's have a gym challenge. But I hope that the curator of Dongwu will use the main battle Pokemon. Mulin agreed to the request to play Dongwu. By the way, let Dongwu use the main battle Pokemon, in case Dongwu will serve some side dishes later. As a result, he could not successfully complete the task. It is good. When Dongwu heard this, his eyes showed a fighting spirit. I'm going to arrange the venue now. With a promise, he immediately started to arrange. Because the people fighting are Mulin and Dongwu. Ash and others sat in the auditorium. Ash didn't hold the Canalave badge tightly in his hand. Put it in the little box he usually holds the badge in. Instead, put this extraordinary badge, separate lined pocket. Then, he looked excitedly at the battlefield. The upcoming battle must be very exciting. I have to cheer up and not miss every detail of the battle. This is the best opportunity to learn Mulin's battle skills. Xiao nodded in agreement and said, that's right. The upcoming battle will be a very high-level battle. I heard that the 6 main battle Pokemon of the curator Dongwu all reached the elite level. If it wasn't for the Dongwu curator's obsession with digging fossils, Sinnoh Elite 4 might have already had his place. All reached the elite level? Ash gasped. His eyes were full of surprise. But in retrospect, it's understandable. After all, Dongwu's son, Rourke, also became the curator of the gym. The son is the curator. Could it be that his father's strength will be poor? Although Brother Mulin's Lucario is also very strong. But Brother Mulin seems to have only 1 Pokemon. There is a disadvantage in numbers. I don't know if Brother Mulin can win. Ash was vaguely worried about Mulin. I have never been very interested in battles, and only care about the contest competition. Dawn, who wants to be a coordinator trainer, is holding a pickup. He said easily, although I don't know much about combat. But, dare I say it, Mulin Big Brother will win 100%. Ash, Dawn, just now you still said you don't know how to fight? How can you be 100% sure that Mulin will win? Facing Ash and Xiaogang's doubts, Dawn shrugged easily. Do not know. Anyway, I have a hunch. Winning must be Mulin Big Brother. Alright. Xiaogang and Ash are no longer entangled. A woman's 6th sense is quite accurate sometimes. Turn your eyes to the battlefield. At this point, the venue is ready. The battle between Mulin and Dongwu is about to begin. 24 Ash, is that okay too? For gym challenges, to be frank, Mulin is interested in normal, dispensable, mainly because he no longer needs to pass badge to prove their own strength. But in order to complete the task of the system, it doesn't matter, it didn't take much time anyway. Secondly, travel to this world, get a badge, complete the collection of achievements. It's also very good. In the arranged battlefield, Mulin and Donghua stood on one side. Professor Mulin, please teach me a lot. Donghua clasped his fists far away. In the eyes, there is a strong fighting spirit. Although Donghua is the curator of the gym, trainers who come to challenge will be received every day. But most of them are some vegetable chickens. Want to find a strong trainer to fight against. But not so easy to meet. Mulin offered it just now. Let him use the main Pokemon. This also means that Mulin is very confident in his own Pokemon. Curator of Donghua. Please. Mulin also bowed his hands politely. Seeing that the two were ready, the referee announced the rules of the battle. Challenger Mulin, against Canalave Gym Director Donghua. Both parties use up to 3 Pokemon. Gym curators cannot replace Pokemon during the battle. Challengers can replace Pokemon with Solaceon. After reading the rules, the referee waved the flag, announced the start of the battle. Follow the rules of the gym. The Pokemon will be dispatched first by the defender. Donghua took out a baby ball. Press the switch in it. Give it to you. Magnezone. Automatically. Magnezone's attribute automatically enters Mulin's mind. Pokemon, Magnezone. Gender, male. Attribute, steel, electricity. Ability, analysis. If you make a late shot, the power of the moves you use will increase by 30%. Level, 55. Elite Intermediate. Potential, Elite Peak. Skills, Tri-Attack, Electric Field, Magnetic Flux, Mirror Coat, Thunder Shock, Supersonic, Thunder Wave, Gyro Ball, Flash Cannon. Genetic skills, Thunderbolt, Thunder. Contest condition, good. Remarks, as the best of its kind, this Pokemon has good potential, after acquired training. He has reached a height rarely seen among his peers. Elite mid-level. Donghua's strength has surpassed that of Normal's gym leader. Compare honor level. The championship is the highest honor, followed by Elite 4. Next is the gymnasium. But if you are not the curator of the gymnasium, you can't compare with the champion. Instead, the world has several gym masters. It's a monster. It's perverted. The champions are in front of them. Just a brother, such as Hoenn Region 1, the curator of the Sotopolis gym. He can produce champions like Wallace. Will your own strength be poor? Including Chuck, the fighting Dana of the Johto region. Successively trained disciples like Bruno, King Lu, and Teng Shu. Not to mention, with a B-drill, he defeated the champion Giovanni of Yulongdu. There is also Mahogany Town hidden in the Johto region that frail old man price. It even uses the heaven-defying Swinub, the hard steel videographer Mulin took out the baby ball. After the red light, a blue-gray dog appeared on the battlefield. Lucatilda. As soon as Lucario appeared, the power of Waveguide surged, showing off his champion edge. Ask them. Only a vague feeling. Specifically what level Lucario is at. They couldn't tell either. But Donghua, who has rich combat experience and broad knowledge, just a glance, just from the aura displayed by Lucario, accurately judged Lucario reached the championship level. There was an unconcealable surprise in Donghua's eyes. Ash was right. Mulin is really strong. No wonder just now, I took the initiative to mention letting me use the main battle Pokemon. Not soon enough, the surprise in his eyes dissipated. What's more, its excitement finally bumped into a mighty rival, and the Pokemon used by this rival. It's still a steel Pokemon. Donghua, who was full of fighting spirit, quickly commanded, Magnezone. Use the electrical field. Magnetic. Magnezone's whole body sparkled with sparks, radiating energy. The energy spreads all around. Let the surrounding free electric molecules quickly gather in the battlefield. It is different from Donghua, full of fighting spirit. Mulin just said lightly, Xiao, use extreme speed. Lucario let out a howl. Stomp ground hard with both feet. Bang. The ground is cracked inch by inch, rushing like a shooting star. In everyone's eyes, Lucario left a trail of after images. In an instant, it appeared in front of Magnezone. Donghua, who has been focusing on fighting, see that Lucario has approached Magnezone, immediately shocked. Want to change Magnezone's tricks, but helplessly. Magnezone's original skills haven't been released yet. There is no possibility of changing tactics at all. Xiao, use circle throw. Throw the opponent out of the field. Mulin's voice came quietly. Lucario held Magnezone tightly with both hands. Then push hard. Boost your speed with extreme speed. Take advantage of the trend and throw the Magnezone out of the field. Boom! Magnezone was thrown off the field with a sound of a heavy object falling to the ground. The referee at the side saw this and waved a flag. Magnezone was thrown out of the field by Fling. In the first round, the challenger Mulin wins. This is okay? Ash in the audience. Open your mouth wide. 25. The effect is outstanding and the key is hit. 4th update. Regular trainer battle. In addition to defeating rival, it is also a victory to force rival out of the battlefield. The reason for this limitation, mainly to limit the flying Pokémon. For example, when fighting against flying-type Pokémon and against ground-type Pokémon. Flying Pokémon fly high in the sky to avoid battles, so ground Pokémon can't do anything about it. Xiao Gang explained to the confused Ash. Then, after that, I will challenge the gym. Can we also learn from Brother Mulin, when the opponent's Pokémon is forced out of bounds? Ash learned what he learned and put it into practice, and asked immediately. Xiao Gang shook his head and said, I advise you to give up this idea. You thought rival would obediently force you out of bounds? Don't look at Mulin's understatement when he was directing. When you actually implement it, you will know how difficult it is. Lucario's weight is about 60 kg. In contrast to Magna's own, his weight has reached at least 180 kg. In terms of weight, the difference is 3 times. It is conceivable how powerful Lucario is. Yes. After Xiao Gang's explanation, Ash scratched his head, abandoned the mimic Mulin idea. His eyes returned to the battlefield. Dongwu took back the Magna's own casually, although he lost in the first round. But he doesn't care. The fighting spirit, on the contrary, became more and more surging. Then he said, Mulin, I didn't expect you to be a learned scholar. I have such high attainments in training Pokémon and fighting. He. The curator of Dongwu praised it. Mulin said lightly, shall we continue? Continue. Dongwu pulled out another baby ball and released his second Pokémon. After a burst of red light, a huge monster appeared on the battlefield. Pokémon, Steelix, gender, male. Attribute, steel, ground. Ability, hard head. Even if you use a move that will be damaged by reaction force, your physical strength will not decrease. Level, 55. Elite Intermediate. Potential, elite. Skills, Thunder Fang, Fire Fang, Ice Fang, Crunch, Rock Throw, Bind, Autotomize, Sand Tomb. Genetic skill, Dragon Tail. Contest condition, good. Remarks, the talent is normal. The original potential is only gym level. But under trainer's meticulous breeder, he broke through his own shackles and reached the elite level. The toughest Pokémon of its kind. The Steelix, which was 10 meters long, lay across the battlefield. It's like the Great Wall of Waveguide. Compared with the size and volume, Lucario is completely small. Steelix, use Earthquake, absorb. Learned the lesson from last time. Dongwu Steelix is lower than Lucario. As soon as you come up, use the powerful skills of the ground system. Ground is one of the few weaknesses of the steel system. Raw, like the Steelix of the Great Wall of Waveguide, its thick tail kept beating the ground. In the field of battle, there are countless cracks. Among the broken marks, there is a wealth of ground-based energy. Assault on Lucario. In this regard, Mulin gave an order gently. Xiao, use Meteor Mash on ground. When Lucario heard this, the power of the Waveguide surged out. Dazzling white light burst out from the fist. The white light turned into a huge fist. Then Lucario yelled and slammed his white fist on the ground. Because Steelix uses Earthquake, the field of battle has become soft. With Lucario's punch, countless gravels were blown up. On the battlefield, there was a rain of gravel. Just when the rain of gravel blocked the line of sight. When people can't see the situation clearly, Mulin's voice came again. Xiao, use quick attack to approach Steelix. In gravel rain, Lucario's figure suddenly disappeared. Originally Lucario was fast. In addition, there is a rain of gravel affecting the field of vision. Dongwu didn't know where Lucario would come from. The only option is to defend. Steelix, use Protect. Raw. Steelix gave up on the traction of ground energy. Drum energy. Outside the body surface, a white protective shield is formed. The skill of Protect can be described as a defensive magic skill. Use energy to form a protective shield to defend against the opponent's attack. As long as the energy is sufficient, it can be used all the time. It's a pity that this trick didn't work for Mulin. Xiao, Brick Break. Agile Lucario. Demonic display of agility. Around behind Steelix. Highly raised his right hand, which was shining with dazzling white light. Using his hand as a knife, he slashed down towards Steelix fiercely. Brick Break, which ignores shields. Skills that deal damage directly to rival. Moreover, the position of Lucario's slash is very tricky. It is the position of the 7th knot of Steelix's body. There is the 7-inch position of the Steelix. Clang! Touch between Waveguide and Waveguide. There was a flash of ember. Immediately afterwards, it's Steelix's gruesome growl. With a bang, Steelix fell to the ground. The effect is outstanding, plus the key is hit. The referee steps up to observe Steelix, confirm that all stamina has been lost, then raised the flag, announcing the result of the battle. Steelix loses all his stamina. In the second round, the winner is Mulin. If you like this audiobook, subscribe the channel for more videos like this. And join my Patreon if you want to support me, link in the description. Leave some comment and let me know if you guys like this story, or you have a web novel you like and want to hear its audiobook. I will be happy to create them for you. Please like, share, and leave a comment on the video.